And in bullet, it really does come down to that last like 2 seconds. So that sucks. Chess.com is ass, and you should play on Lichess. So what is going on in this situation? We're just going to develop a knight. I'm not 100% sure what to do when the bishop goes back. I know what to do when the bishop challenges with the check, but in this situation, I think we're just going to develop our bishop. We're looking at this keen square that's defended by so many different things. We will then push our pawns, so we have the majority of our pawns on light squares, and our light square bishop is on the outside of the pawn chain. Generally, it's best practice to do such. Then I haven't really been pinned yet, so let's push this pawn so the pin never happens, so I can put the bishop here, and we have a place to put the bishop. So this is a multifaceted move. We will same side castle, and we'll just have a little game of chess. The reason we push this pawn is it takes away this g5 square from any annoyance. Like the knight can go there and cause a lot of problems. The bishop can go there and cause a lot of problems. And we have also vacated the h7 square so that our bishop can drop back and be a happy little bishop over there. I feel like this move makes a little bit of sense. We're kind of applying pressure to this guy. We can step forward, but whoa, I grabbed a pawn. Let's just put our rook on the semi-open file. Like, we don't have a pawn on this file, just like he put his rook on the semi-open file. So he does a little shimmy back. A little shimmy back. This pawn push is coming, but we could definitely play something like this. Or let's just jump forward. I'm already down a minute on the clock, so that's not really fun to just deal with. I got to stomach that. I was just yapping that entire time, and now I'm down a minute. I better play a little bit quicker. We got one pre-move out of the way. We got another quick move out of the way. This pawn push is still coming. When that knight moves, there's like a discovery threat, you could say. Definitely like a little bit of a discovery threat. I can better position my bishop here. Doesn't really do anything, but my bishop is at least more active there. Let's just attack this queen again. You got to get out of my position, bro. Oh, hello, my fellow chess enthusiast. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. In today's episode, we have the pleasure of playing a 1949 that only plays rapid. If we take a quick look at his ratings, he doesn't play bullet, he doesn't play blitz, only rapid. Before we go ahead and play c6, which is my candid move, I'll show you my subscriber count for the day. 1,850. Refresh. I'm just kidding. But we will see how that goes. Hopefully it goes up 1 or 2 by the end of this. So we are going to play c6. And one thing that I must mention that I love about Lichess opposed to chess.com is, bro, it waits for you to play your first move. When you play on chess.com with the white pieces, it automatically plays a move. Or, I mean, the clock just automatically starts. So if you play a bullet game, all of a sudden you have 56 seconds. And in bullet, it really does come down to that last like 2 seconds. So that sucks. Chess.com is ass, and you should play on Lichess. So what is going on in this situation? We're just going to develop a knight. I'm not 100% sure what to do when the bishop goes back. I know what to do when the bishop challenges with the check, but in this situation, I think we're just going to develop our bishop. We're looking at this keen square that's defended by so many different things. We will then push our pawns, so we have the majority of our pawns on light squares, and our light square bishop is on the outside of the pawn chain. Generally, it's best practice to do such. Then I haven't really been pinned yet, so let's push this pawn so the pin never happens, so I can put the bishop here, and we have a place to put the bishop. So this is a multifaceted move. We will same side castle, and we'll just have a little game of chess. The reason we push this pawn is it takes away this g5 square from any annoyance. Like the knight can go there and cause a lot of problems. The bishop can go there and cause a lot of problems. And we have also vacated the h7 square so that our bishop can drop back and be a happy little bishop over there. I feel like this move makes a little bit of sense. We're kind of applying pressure to this guy. We can step forward, but whoa, I grabbed a pawn. Let's just put our rook on the semi-open file. Like, we don't have a pawn on this file, just like he put his rook on the semi-open file. So he does a little shimmy back. A little shimmy back. This pawn push is coming, but we could definitely play something like this. Or let's just jump forward. I'm already down a minute on the clock, so that's not really fun to just deal with. I got to stomach that. I was just yapping that entire time, and now I'm down a minute. I better play a little bit quicker. We got one pre-move out of the way. We got another quick move out of the way. This pawn push is still coming. When that knight moves, there's like a discovery threat, you could say. Definitely like a little bit of a discovery threat. I can better position my bishop here. Doesn't really do anything, but my bishop is at least more active there. Let's just attack this queen again. You got to get out of my position, bro. Cool. Cool. I'm glad we came to that peaceful resolution of what the heck is your queen doing on my side of the board. He is now comfortably back on the other side of the board. Now, I'm going to be a little bit honest here. I'm not sure that my queen is really serving a great purpose over here, but we're going to just jump over here with the knight. We're going to just jump over here with the knight. That was actually, now that I'm looking at it, a terrible move, because both of these squares are definitely blocked by this knight and this bishop. So my knight arriving on either of these squares is just not going to happen. The small thing that it does is it sort of defends this. Maybe I gotta get better at chess. I gotta get better at chess. I need to have a game plan. What is the game plan in this position? What should I actually be doing? I think my queen is on the wrong side of the board. For the same reason that you kind of like want to line the rooks up like this, I think my queen would be happier. What would be the magical square? Over here? Okay, so he really just wants to like guard this, which is actually quite reasonable. I think, I mean, just neither of these are really options. I don't see anything fancy or tricky or all that beautiful, but we're going to step out of here, so at least my queen has ideas of participating on this side of the board. Over here, I felt a little bit boxed in. My queen here, we have ideas of getting over here. And I want my queen on this side of the board because I think we're having like a gentlemanly discussion. We're just trying to figure out what squares do we want to put our pieces on. And I don't want my knight on this square. Okay, so he's rerouting with the knight. We could play this. I quite like that. That relinquished this. So we play this, 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 this. My rook gets in. Dagnabbit, we're going to play it. Where if he takes, we get rid of a bishop for a knight. Seems like a positive development in the position. Okay, so I'm just going to explain this real quick. My bishop is looking at nothing. His bishop is looking at the square in front of my queen, so we will be trading that. We will be trading that. Potentially, we play something like this. Where if he trades, we at least get to put my queen closer. I think that's enough thinking about it, and it also vacates this square for my knight. Because I feel like the battle is shifting over to this side of the board. Am I getting the audio from the board? Gosh darn better be. Okay. What did he do? He didn't do anything. Okay, we're back. We're back in action. He could just develop the knight, but then I take. Then he takes. I guess I can take and his queen gets in. Doesn't seem all that convincing for me. But let's just do it. Let's just trade. Let's trade everything. Why not, bro? If the pawn comes, he's got this open file. That's a little bit something to be a little bit worried about. But we're going to just snap capture literally everything. We're going to snap capture everything. We're going to push this pawn forward because I want control over this square. That's the pawn break. And now I have sort of control over it, you might say. And I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to make a prediction. Queen's trade. Pawn takes, so he can have this. So the pawn takes, the queen's trade, everything here. Okay. Pawn's there. Everything else is gone. My rook slides up. My rook slides over. He slides one rook. And then at some point he does something fancy here where I'm able to sacrifice my rook. Because if he captures, I take here. I think that might actually happen in this game of chess. I could try and crack things open, but his rook is stationed in a beautiful square over there. What did that queen move do? What do we think about that, boys? What do we think about that? Boom, 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 boom. I got a lonely pawn over here. We're not going to spend a huge amount of time on all this. He could swing over. He could swing over and get fancy here. But he's got 5 minutes and I've got 5 minutes and I'm going to whittle away his clock. I am not losing this game of chess. That is a promise, okay? It's completely even right now, but we're going to make something happen. And you know what? I've had a tremendous losing streak. I think immediately we attack that rook. We're doing it. My fear of this is, what is my queen doing all the way over here? But if I grab this pawn, these pawns become just increasingly weak. So you really don't want to, You play this and just allow it. Okay, so he does step back. This might be our time to shine, boys. We get jiggy with it. How trapped is my queen over here? What if I play this and he plays this? We have to step back, but then say he attacks my queen in that position. All right, I grab the pawn. All right, we're going to play it. This pawn push seems like it's actually an okay thing. Seems like it's actually an okay thing. Okay, so he steps back. I'm scared of my queen. This. This. What else you got? That's the only threat my queen I can get out. So what about this? And he pushes forward. I'd get this. Okay, we're doubling the rooks. Seems like the right idea. His rooks are still in the back rank. My rooks are doubled up on the semi-open file. I have ideas of push-push. So he does go for the attack the queen maneuver. Fairly certain I only have one move to play here. Is it my time to go for a little pawn break? If I'm able to shred things open. This is actually quite scary, but I'm just going to go for it with 4 minutes on the clock. He's got 48 seconds on me. I think we're going to make something shake. The game never shifted over to this side of the board. So my fear of my queen being over here was an irrational fear. Never be afraid. You dictate where the attack is going to be. And he's got nothing. He's got nothing over here. And so what we're doing is we're whittling around into a rook and an endgame. I push forward. If you push forward, I just take. If you take, I just take. We go for this. If you take, I take your rook. Because I got my double barrel bazooka looking at you. You do have this. You do have this. But I have capture, take, take. We take here. You can't take. I'm looking at the rooks. You can play this, but I take, take, take. And I'm getting a pawn at the end. And at the very least, this pawn becomes destabilized, and there's no back rank checkmate ideas, so you can't hit me with something fancy like this if my rook leaves the defense of the back square. I think pawn pushes are the soul of chess. I think Hikaru actually said pawns are the... I think he literally did say that. Okay, so he adds a defender to this. But that's not enough defenders, bro. We take. You take. I take. If you pin, I get out of it. No more calculation. We're taking. That was the whole reason of pushing this pawn forward. We will be pushing that pawn forward. Now, we have 3 things looking at this pawn, and he only has 2. The only tactics here are this, but I get out of it with a check. You're not fast enough, buddy. Not to mention I could just take this way. We take. This doesn't work. We have a check. We have a check. What's stronger here? Take. This doesn't work. This. If you let me get behind this, I just win. This seems like very powerful, but I'm okay with going to a rook and pawn endgame where it's still a draw most likely, but I'm on the good side of the draw. He probably wants to keep the pieces, but if he doesn't, okay, we get in. He goes here. Awesome. We can get super active, but I kind of like the idea of literally playing this. If he ever goes away... Okay, we are going to play this. Pushing here probably makes sense. He can just stop my entire mission. Yeah. We bring the king. King, king, king. I'm getting fancy with the king, bro. 2 minutes and 43 seconds. We're not going to need it. We're not going to need it. You go here, I'm hitting you with this check. And you're going back. So we're stepping forward. You go here, I'm hitting you with this check. You go there. We push, take, take. And make a passed pawn where your king is passive as poop. I can also push, push. I have the feeling that my rook should be looking at something such as this. If I push and you take, I step over. That becomes just a huge problem. Boom. You push here, I just take. Then you take. What am I talking about? He can't push that. We push this. We push this. We turn the battle into fight over this pass pawn. So he wants to defend. Very reasonable. I think push, push, and bring the king. Got to be very careful here. This is a very crucial moment in the game. Once I have this, and then this idea. If the king ever comes onto this file. And, oof, he doesn't have a lot of great options. He's got this check. Okay, so he does step forward. We play this. We cut the king off and go this way. No, no, no. We push, but then the king just steps in. But then we go for this. Oh my god. If you take here, I take here. And we're then in a different king and pawn endgame. What about just this? I'm doing this. Because then I can push and then I have this. And if a trade happens, then... Okay. I'm up a pawn. I'm up a pawn. Take a deep breath, Kip. Kip314 on YouTube. We step forward. Yes. Where are you really going? This is a check. Where if you step this way, I play this. You grab the pawn, but I grab here. Here, here. What about this? Here, here, here. You take, I take. I'm not on the right side, dude. If I push the... Here, 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 take, take, check, and then my king is cut off on the outside. There's no way that's correct. Stepping back can't be correct. I don't know what to do. I think I have to play this. Ugh, this became a little bit more challenging than I had planned it for it to be. "26 seconds. What about just like this, dude? What about this? We cut the king off. King's not going nowhere fancy. My pawns are weak, but I actually don't even know if I care about any of those pawns. We care about this pawn. We care about these pawns if we're going to be doing more stuff with pawns. But what about just this idea? What do you do about this? This might be the right move. But then I push. And if you push, I sneak in behind. Okay, that's what it is. What about like this? Push. Check up. Check up. All the way back. Step up here. There's this check. I'm not convinced. I think the king. My king is going to go into a boxing match with this rook. And I'm going to knock him out. That is straight up the goal. With 26 seconds on the clock, bro, there's nothing you can calculate. There's nothing you can do. I have faced so many losses in a row. You are my victim today. Go ahead and pull out Stockfish. I beat this against Stockfish. There's not a chance. Your king is cut off. Your rook is passive. My king is thirsty. I'm being a little too confident. I might completely screw this up. But I'm hoping not. I'm hoping not. We step in. If he plays this, we push. He steps back. I come up with the king behind it. And same idea, bro. We're getting my king to this square and then to this square. And once that happens, while your king is cut off, you are in a predicament. He could try and run in. No, he can't, bro. I have an invisible line. I have an invisible line across the board. This is my side of the board. He pushes a pawn. Okay, we step up here, here. Here, check. Here. This is the right move. Check, I step up. here. Yes. Cuts off these 3 crucial squares. You want to run. I'm pushing. Grab this pawn, bro. He gives me the check. Jesus. What do I do? You can get this. Jesus, we give a check? I think we have to give this check. If he goes here, Jesus. Dude, did I just give a draw? I think I just gave a draw. That was 3 times. I suck. We push this. We get behind this guy. I'm freaking out of moves. I'm going this way, bro. You capture that pawn, I'm going this way. He timed out. He's got this. But I've got this. You have to go back. Dude, rook and pawn endgames are freaking no joke. My blood pressure suffered from playing that game of chess for you guys. Oh, dear Lord, please subscribe. We're going to do an incredibly quick analysis. Incredibly quick analysis. I think it was probably a draw for that entire last, like, 10 minutes. But, you know what I mean? Sometimes you really just got to fight for it. And our opponent lost on time. I know that I got close here and there, for sure. I mean, let's go to the very, very beginning. Screw, my scroll wheel is not that incredibly quick. Boom. Beginning of the game. Go here, scene collections, analysis, bada boom, bada bing. This has audio. We're still recording. Okay, capture, capture. We'll go 1 move at a time. Develop the bishop. I should have pushed the pawn 2 squares. It is what it is. Make a little luft. It was actually an okay move. Do something with the bishop. Castle, castle. Bring the knight, bring the queen, bring the rook, bring the rook. He steps back. That's a weird move. I jump in with the knight because I realized I was losing on time, so we wanted to get some quick moves here. So we shuffled around. This was all to gain time. And the same subscriber has been inviting me to, like, so many different games. But I'm too busy right now, bro. We are locked in. And I have to actually reject this. Bro, if he sends 1 more, I'm going to have to block you because I can't be having a million requests. Get out of here. You see this? No challenges. Every time somebody sends a request, it blocks the computer analysis, which is not what we want. We need to just keep going forward. We trade everything. Bro, get out of here. There we go. Was there anything we missed? 0.5, okay. Okay. It's even saying to give a cheeky check first so that the king has to get not on that square, whatever. It is what it is. Capture. Capture. Why is this check good? Literally just to have the king not on this square. I guess this square is important later on in the computer's brain. Okay? We push a pawn. We get freaky with the queen. Freaky with the rook. Double up the rooks. Freaky with the pawn. Okay, we are making advancements forward. Every move that I have made for the last little bit is forward. I finally have a substantial advantage. -3. We capture. And then I needed to convert this rook and pawn endgame. This was like the entire purpose of this game. Everything before this didn't even matter. Okay, so that's losing. I guess I'm supposed to clarify like what's going on here. We can step here and just inevitably apply pressure to this pawn, and only the king can defend it, and he can only uncomfortably defend it, I guess. Not to mention if he goes here, it's pinned. Okay, so I'm supposed to realize, like, this is a weakness, so I'm not going to pretend to be able to explain all of this to you guys, okay? I make a mistake. I figured, okay, makes a passed pawn. I like my idea. It's not losing. It's still winning. We're doing all right. -3. We step up with the king. He steps back. We give a check. I guess I didn't ever need to actually step back, but okay, it's the best computer line. Stepping back. He gives the check. I step up correctly to cut off these squares, so he has to go back. So he goes here, push. He grabs the pawn. I push. He gives the check. No, he covers. I block. Check. I guess we shuffled around a little bit. We do give this check. He steps up. We give this check. He steps up. I definitely shuffled around here a little bit to gain time. I thought that I did too much. This is a complete blunder, although I'm still winning. Okay? Capture, capture. He goes for this. Completely I'm winning here. He pushes. I think I even gave another check to gain more time off that increment. I'm a sneaky boy. We slide back. We slide over, and it's a draw because I push. And if he doesn't capture, so he pushes, it's still a draw. Bro, I'm blocking you. You are blocked officially. Too many requests in one day, bro. And now I gotta like sneaky click over here. Still a draw. Because you're winning this pawn. Oh my god. And he needs to give the check because this isn't fast enough. I'm making a queen. And even if you take my rook, I got the queen before you got your queen. I'm going to figure out how to like swoop and cover that square. Okay? So that's not too hard to find. But he could just keep giving checks. So let's see how this goes. Okay, never mind. I am actually going into this guy's account. And I am blocking him. Block. Officially, that is just too many requests, bro. If I don't accept the first request, don't send me 300 more. Let that be a lesson to you. How is this supposed to go? I step forward. He gives the check. And then I guess I'm just getting perpetually stuck in this position where nobody can make advancements forward. It still gets pretty complicated, though. Grab this, and if I ever run, then we're just 2 pawns. So let's go back to when I was winning and watch what to do so we can see how to actually win this rook and pawn endgame. -2. Check, check. Push forward. Then let's turn this down. Only show the best move. Boom. 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 Push. Take. Take. Probably you're going to want to go for that, but I go for this. You can step up. Okay, that's more losing. Okay. We got to play the computer best line. Is he not just going to shuffle back and forth here? He's playing the same move, bro. Same move. It's a draw. He's going to play the same move. Okay, I come back and block this. He pushes. I get here. How are you defending all of this? We slide over. This is unbelievably complicated. I'm not even going to pretend to be able to understand any of this. Something like that. Holy crap, rook and pawn endgames are the most challenging part of chess. Sorry if that analysis was longer than it needed to be. I wasn't even able to explain anything to you guys about how to win this rook and pawn endgame. Thank you so much for watching my video. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. Please subscribe. Goodbye. Oh, hello and welcome back, and thank you so much for clicking on my video, my fellow chess enthusiast. We are sitting in front of the 64 squares, ready to absolutely demolish this 1885. He elects to play. Is this the Perk or the French? I'm going to be completely honest with you. Knowing the names of the openings don't matter. What matters is memorizing the moves. Let me turn up the audio just a tad bit so we're actually recording the sounds of this. Now, To be honest with you, I forget what's the best move, but I know for certain that this is the second best move. And we're just going to naturally develop. We're kind of... This check doesn't really make a whole heckin' lot of sense right now because the pawn's going to just step forward and completely block all of that. So going here, we haven't been pinned yet. So we're going to move this bishop first because we haven't decided what's his bishop doing. Potentially we want to break this pin. If we go here, we might have to live with this pin for forever. And so that's not something that I'm going to be able to stomach while the game starts. We're going to start doing this at the beginning of my videos. Did it disappear? It's refreshing. Maybe the number will go up. We are so close to 2,000 subscribers. And so you guys will be watching this in the future. So if I have 2,000 subscribers right now, I'm doing something right. He castles. I think we're going to just get out of all of this nonsense with the pin. It's a weak move. It's a slow move. It's not something that a grandmaster would recommend. But me being not a grandmaster, and we're doing this to block the check so we can castle. We don't want to run into any discovery ideas. I'm really fighting for no such advantage. You know what I mean? If you can just make it out of the opening without making a blunder, you're doing something all right. What is this knight doing? This knight is almost certainly jumping here. There's no way he goes in front of this, weakening this. Because if he does this, then he does exactly what I did. I'm pretty much considering moving this knight here now. That's the new game plan. And none of his pieces are on my side of the board. None of my pieces are on his side of the board. There's really no checks. There's really not a lot of useful captures. Like we've got this and we've got this, but nobody really cares about that. I guess the one move that we need to keep on our radar is the knight jumping forward, but we do have a solid grasp of that. And his rook is already on the open file. So here shortly, I will be scooting my rook over to match his rook on the open file, because that's generally what you want to do in a game of chess. I was going back, just making sure. So immediately he goes for the little pawn break. If we capture, that just brings his knight. If I don't capture, my bishop is going to have to step back. Which one is better? Your guess is really just about as good as mine. I guess the only other thing to note about this is my bishop can jump forward to b4, b5. We got some music playing in the background. I'm wearing a robe, by the way, because I'm a wizard. I'm an absolute chess wizard, and we're playing a 10+2. So time is not something that I'm going to have to worry about. I'm thinking about just moving my bishop forward. You've got to do something about that. Do I? I mean, I can just capture. What is your bishop really doing over here? We're playing this. We're playing this. Earlier on, I got hit with one of these checks. Oh my god, picking up the bishop because there was no more knight defending it. Chess is definitely complicated, but all we're doing right now is surviving the opening, getting into a middle game, not losing on time because I'm down a minute, so potentially it would be in my favor to just make a couple quick moves here and there. Almost certainly the knight's coming forward. Is he not? The rook's not scooting over. If the bishop goes back, then cool, we solve this problem. We just get rid of the bishop because I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my bishop anyway. My queen will be just as happy on this square if we trade and the pawn doesn't come forward and attack me. And I feel maybe this little attack on the rook has really flustered our opponent here because he is reluctant to play a move. That is the move that he needed to play all along. That's my first idea. Pressure the pinned piece. But what if I step forward and he just captures? I capture attacking the queen. You have to take back. I take like this. You pressure the pinned piece. If you just capture, I take here. And your knight's not threatening anything. I was really hoping that that would be a little bit more of a dynamic type move, and it was not. Is there anything I can squeeze? Scooting the rook over just seems incredibly slow. But I have my pieces, you know, I'm having ideas of... I'm on his side of the board. How can I squeeze something else out of this position without wasting a huge amount of time? You know what we'll do? We'll trade everything off and go into an endgame so I can win the endgame. That is what we'll do. Okay. I mean, I have to play this, no? I have to play this so I can recapture the pawn if he does take. This guy is undefended. This square is looking a little sketchy. And it looks like he's got the center. So our opponent has definitely got the best of us out of the opening. But It's hard to say that this center is solid. I don't think that's a good center at all. Even if he just lets me capture and the bishop comes in, I don't think he's got what it takes to prove to me that this center is great. Okay? If he captures, the queen is coming out. And I will be attacking the a pawn in this position. Not that that does anything useful. He can literally just step forward. And then realistically, what is my queen doing? Like, okay, let me think. Take, take. He steps forward again, attacking me. We can get freaky. We can get freaky, but that's asking for trouble. That's asking for trouble. He pushes forward again. And what is the knight doing? Okay, so we will be playing this. This was the move that I was considering next. And it just feels good to know that I've got options, okay? I can step forward, which is a bold move. It actually walks directly into this, where I would have to defend like this, walking into this fork. So we will not be playing that. So we have calculated this move sucks. This move sucks immediately because that's where the queen ended up in this line, walking into the fork. Man, my arrows suck. Maybe I'll alt, blue arrows, control, red arrows. This would be the threat. God damn it, dude. Drawing these arrows is harder than it looks. That's the threat if my queen is there. So I'm thinking, what about going over here? And then going here. And then coming back. Okay, so we calculated a lot of different stuff. I've really got two options, this or this. Which one is the better option? This one's forcing and it's attacking something. Even if I grab, you're just chasing me. I think we'd be all right. There's also this, but I'm sensing that this pawn push is going to come forward. I could step all the way back, but I didn't even consider any of those moves. Like, I could just play this. But let's get freaky. Queen on the side of the board. He could just go for a quick attack, and then we take the pawn. And then it's really like, it's anybody's game at that point, my friend. Also, I'm laterally defending the bishop. I don't know if that's even somewhat or slightly important. And he does just have this pawn push. Yeah. Where, I mean, if I play this, he just pins me. So that's super uncomfortable. Nobody wants to see that. If I go forward, he just takes me. I can't go here. Here seems reasonable. This locks my rook in there, so we're going to play this move. I'm getting a little bit steamrolled, but the game is not over. The game is not over. It's not even slightly over. And you know what? I actually almost prefer this pawn structure opposed to, like, this pawn structure, how it could have ended up. And this bishop is actually quite nice. This is a nice diagonal. He probably wants to trade off, because look at all the pawns he has on dark squares. So his dark square bishop is not that great, and I only have 2 pawns. See how good I'm getting with the arrows or the circles? Boom. One other thing, I just want to talk bad about chess.com. The knight, like, how do you envision the knight moving to this square? This knight moving to this square? I literally just imagine the knight moving there. Like, I just boom, boom. That's what I see. Boom, boom, boom. That's what I see. Chess.com goes like that and draws like a crooked, that arrow. It literally does this, which can really throw you off. I think immediately we need to go for this. If he pushes forward, I don't believe my queen is scared. This opens up the escape. Because after he plays this, he's going to play this. And I have to play this. But without spending a huge amount of time. Oh, I'm winning on time now. So let's just get into a little bit of a time scramble, my friend. We can step all the way back. We don't have to do anything about this position. We can play this. And you have to play a weakening move, right? What is this bishop really accomplishing over here anyway? We play this. You have to defend this somehow. Yeah, you do, because otherwise I take with the queen, and I take like this, and take like this. I guess this pawn is hanging at the end of all of those lines. Ugh. What about this? No, I'm just getting my queen trapped. I'm asking for trouble. This. Okay. This move definitely seems sketchy, but it didn't seem like the end of the world. He plays this. I put my bishop on this diagonal. That seems useful. That cuts off this diagonal from this bishop. And we just got to react quick to this move right here. He could also jump forward with the knight. That would actually probably make a lot of sense. Or go for this now. I'm wearing my wizard robe with no shirt underneath. That's right. If you want to see the physique, check it out on Instagram. YouTube is for chess. Instagram is for showing the abs. So he pushes forward. Immediately we're playing this. He's going to play this now. Yet again, we are defending the bishop laterally. It's not like the bishop's under attack or anything, but it is cool just to see the queen getting freaky all the way across the board. And my knight can go here. This is just a balancing act. This is just a balancing act. Don't blunder first, or at least don't make the really obvious sucking blunder first. If you make like a crazy tactical blunder that nobody was ever going to see, it's not a real blunder. Like sometimes you'll see at the end of a blitz game that you played a blunder, and the reason for it being a blunder is the most ridiculous, disgusting computer line you have ever seen in your life. And you're like, that's not a blunder, bro. You can quite happily play this move, and they're not going to see a 12-move sequence. Okay, so we were anticipating this. I seem to think bringing the knight forward just is what needs to happen here. This is a passed pawn, but we have so much stuff. Not to mention this knight will be guarding this. And if this happens, I mean, I can just bring the bishop back. You bring the bishop. That guy's hanging. You could take with check, though, so it's not hanging. Okay, I think I just bring the knight. Is there just this? Oh my god, I do have an escaping square. This escaping square got covered by the pawn. I do have this at the end of the day. And then we have undeveloped the queen entirely. What was the journey of this queen? Can I scroll on the wheel? I guess not. All right, we're going back to where the position. Okay, so he is attacking me. Can't go here. Can't go here. Can't go anywhere on this diagonal. Can't go here. End of calculation, we go here. Oh my god, if we see this pawn push, that is not what we want to see. Because then he can take. Then it does get split up, but this is hanging. But I think our opponent underestimates how much bullet I play. Because I have 4 minutes and 41 seconds. I'm going to guarantee to you right now, the viewer, I'm going to win this game of chess. And it's going to be sloppy. Almost for sure it's going to be sloppy. Okay, so he just wants to defend this. I've got this. Does that trap the rook? You would have to play this, no? This. Is that good or bad for me? I don't have any other attack on it. We have this, but then he has to take? No. This. We attack, or take, but then there's this. And the rook here is actually probably a decent thing. I could just immediately go for this pawn break, or step forward with the queen. In the interest of time, I know it's not a blunder, and if I go for this pawn push, this is held. Okay, so here. I think this makes sense. There's double imposant. Okay, I think I have to go for this. What are the options there? He doesn't have to take, but then I take this one, and I feel so much better about my position. Here. Push, and then you just hang on to these two passed pawns. I'll defend that, bro. I will defend that. Pre-move this. First pre-move of the game, I believe, and hopefully it flusters our opponent. 1800 bullet. That's actually quite decent. but 1500 blitz. And he's going to have another pass pawn over here. I mean, we can get really freaky right now and play this, but he's just going to play an obviously decent move. We can shove this dude forward in his face at some point. Okay, 1 minute. I got 1 minute extra. What if we just do this? We just start stacking stuff up. I feel like it's not a blunder, so we're going to just play it. Probably he's going to want to get rid of some of these pieces over here. The reason I want to keep my knight here is I don't want this knight jumping forward, just applying pressure to literally everything. And I don't want to have to take with my bishop. I don't want to give him the bishop pair in an endgame where we're running low on time, where he's up a pawn. That's something that I'm just not super keen on doing. So we will not be doing that. We attack the bishop immediately. Oh, this. You take, I take, and you frickin' escape. I can play this right now. We have to play this. Oh, I wish that this worked, but he's got this. Push forward. I don't know if that's the right move, but we're playing it. He's still got this. Taking like this, I don't want to just weaken my king and weaken my pawn. Oh my god, this is covered. God damn it. He can just straight up take. And that holds everything. 59 seconds. Yeah. We get freaky. This is not what you want. You can just play this. We have to take. We have this, where if he takes, I get this rook, and I got the pawn. All he has to do is defend the rook. This. This, he just takes the rook, no? And I'm screwed. Really screwed. Jesus, now we're tied. Now I'm hanging onto this rook like so. We're massaging the position. He can run this way. But then we take. He sacrifices? Has to be a blunder, no? We take. He makes the queen. We take. We can also just block. "27 seconds against 30. Oh my god, why does chess always get so freaky? Freaking complicated. This is under threat. This is under threat. What do you do? Something like this would actually probably work. Now I grab the bishop. What do you do here? I think I'm winning. I think I'm totally winning. Don't lose on time, bro, please. And I don't want to give you time because I'm not sure if I'm winning. We give him time. We count that as a dub. We count that as a dub. Here, 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 here. We get behind it. We also have this. We get behind it. He can't grab that immediately. That's a complete dub. Complete dub. Dude, what did I say at the beginning of this video? The game is won and lost in the end game. Did anything matter? Did anything matter before this point right here? All it takes is a little bit of confidence and a little bit of finesse. We got lucky here. Don't know. This right here. What was that? What the flippin' heck was that? Let's check with the computer, see how accurate this was. We're going to do this incredibly fast. I'm going to even have like a little timer over here. We're going to go to computer analysis. I will see you over there. And here we are in the computer analysis, and I don't mean to let you guys down, but I was losing that entire game. And I knew that it was uncomfortable, but I never lost hope. I knew that once we got into low time, your boy was going to clutch it up. Now look at this graph. That shows a tale of I was literally in trouble the entire game, bro. Equal, in trouble, then we clutch it up. 92% accurate, 1 mistake, 5 inaccuracies, and our opponent, a miraculous 82%. I'm a whole 10% higher accurate than him, and I lost the game. So let's just fly through this real quick. Now, I remember best move. I knew that bringing the knight is the best move. This is like not a great move, actually, now that I'm looking at it. Okay, so maybe I will just start trying to play something different. Going with a little h3 would definitely throw some people off. All right, we're just getting pieces developed. None of this is incredibly important. We castle, and we kind of get into the meat and potatoes of the position. Jumping forward with the knight was the best idea. Capturing was the best idea. And just attacking the rook, where if you go here, I'm freaking chasing you down. Wow, so the trapping the rook in the corner because this bishop is cutting off so many squares, all I need to do is get my bishop here. Man, trapping the rook with the bishops was an idea all along. I didn't even consider it in this position. I thought he escaped somehow. Like, I don't know what I thought, but that's really not too hard to see. Boom, boom, boom. Or like okay, you see it. We slide out of there. It's a mistake because I missed that free up and exchange trade we could have had going on. He shoves the knight forward, and I'm supposed to walk willingly into this pin. Never in a million years am I playing that move. Maybe I'm playing this move, but that just walks into this. And then my knight moves, so that would just be a big simplification. We step back. It's not fun to play, but we do play it. Getting my bishop active was the correct move. I chose the wrong one, but I needed a little luft. I needed a little bit of I needed to know my queen was safe. And in this position, the queen's not safe because I'm walking into these discovery ideas. My queen's not safe. This little pawn push, and I do have some escaping squares. He shoves it forward. I move the bishop forward with the right idea. We jump in with the knight. We're wiggling around, and we go for the pawn break. Never mind, I'm too afraid. So I step forward to defend this pawn so that I can go for the pawn break. Although I could have still gone for it. We do go for the pawn break, but no matter what I do, I have a -2 position. -2.5. He brings the bishop. We shove the pawn forward. Desperation. Desperation calls for crazy things. We shove this pawn forward to dislocate, or whatever you want to call. This bishop can't see this pawn. Only the queen does. And I got 2 things attacking it. So we trade. I take with the bishop, correct. Sliding in with the rook. He gets freaky with the knight. We chop his head off. Sick. Okay, we scoot over with the rook. Best move. This is a strange configuration, to say the least. Best move. I am hitting it with the best move, best move, best move. And then straight up here. This was the entire blunder of the game. All it took was whittling him away on the clock until he had 44 seconds. And I don't know what he saw here, but it throws it back to a draw, where he needs to move the bishop. Well, yeah, of course, I'm attacking the bishop. You needed to move the bishop. I guess pushing this also like threatens making a queen. But at the very least, I'm going to grab your bishop and then lose my rook. and then probably have pretty good prospects of winning this pawn over here, and you don't have great prospects of winning this one. So moving the bishop would have made more sense. We get behind the pawn, and we take here correctly. If we take like this, we're losing this guy with check, okay? So my queen is defending this pawn in a way, okay? So sort of, at least the check. And so we take with the rook, he takes the queen, we step in, we get behind that passed pawn. He has 2 pawns, 1 square away. 1 frickin' square away. Have you ever seen that? 2 pawns, 1 square away from promotion, and neither one of them makes it. Oh, it's rough. And then I believe he resigned in this position because what are you going to do? You can't even take this pawn because it is covered. Thank you so much for watching that video. I know the analysis was super quick, but that's what I promised. I'll see you guys in the next one. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. I will love you forever. I'll see you in the next one. Get out of here. Bye. Goodbye. Oh, hello and welcome back, and thank you so much for clicking on my video, my fellow chess enthusiast. In today's episode, we have the pleasure of facing a 1912 with a question mark against the Sicilian, and I'm going to do my best to castle opposite and absolutely attack this young man. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know the names of any of these things, all right, all these variation lines. The Sicilian, there are simply too many variations to remember everything, so what we're going to do is maybe what's called the 4 knights variation. Is this the 4 knights variation? I do believe so. We're going to just develop this bishop, and the game plan is going to be generally as such. Move my bishop, move my queen, and castle this freaking way. He can do like a definite, a little bit freaky move here. We're doing this. The discoveries are not as scary as I was looking. Definitely this queen is going to discover onto my bishop, but we're not going to be afraid of it. I can simply step back, and this is defended. Or I can step back this way, and even if he captures with the knight, then we just take back and everything's defended. I think we're chilling. So at some point, we're going to take here with the queen, because we had to do that to defend the bishop. I mean, he can push a pawn forward. He's going for this pawn. But this might be a perfect opportunity to go ahead and just frickin' castle. Does this move make any sense? We're going to castle. We're not worried about this. I mean, he would just straight up get trapped in here. And because his light square bishop is still trapped behind all of these pawns, I think we're going to just be all right. Okay, so we're going to step back. I hope he doesn't just simplify like everything in the position. What about capture, capture, and then he launches this pawn? Well, we've successfully castled opposite. I don't like that my queen is doing the job of defending this bishop over here, so we might just take a little step back. He could ruin the pawn structure, for sure, in front of my king, by trading the bishop for this and doing all that nonsense. This would be hanging at the end of that. Ugh. So if he takes like this, we got to take like this to keep this defended. But then we keep the queens on the board and we have better chances of attacking. I think things are going quite swimmingly. And realistically, he needs to push this pawn. We jump forward attacking the queen. That's the first idea that I got. We jump forward attacking the queen. If the queen goes here, we freaking set up some discovery ideas. This move just feels right, does it not? It's a step forward. We're not really trying to attack stuff over here, but I mean, it would be a cool idea. I also like this. I guess he can just always trade here. Jump forward and attack the queen. Has to be decent. I could spend a little bit more time thinking about my moves here. He's definitely got this, but I can take your queen. And if you take my queen, I take your rook. Okay, so this is defended. We jump forward attacking this guy. We set up discovery. I mean, he can just take this. So do I have to push this pawn forward? what about this? You take with the queen. I take your bishop. You take my queen. I take back. Or I take back. You take my rook. I get your bishop. Wait a minute. This is definitely some stuff we're going to have to calculate right here. I jump forward attacking this bishop. If you take, I can just take. You take. Then I take. Then you take. Then I take. Then you do something with the knight. So what did I get? Here. You get a pawn. I get a bishop. You get the queen. I get the queen. You get the rook. I get the bishop. This is a scary moment. You can also take this with the frickin' knight. I don't want to calculate that. That's not going to happen. Intuition is better. We jump forward. He could just kind of run. And then we just take. Or he could run back all the way here. Boom. You take with the queen. I take the bishop. You take my queen. I take your queen. You take my rook. I take your bishop. You move your knight. I think we go for it. I think that it's winning if he plays this. I think that it's good for me. We'd be trading the two bishops for my rook. I spent way too long calculating all of that. Sorry, everybody that was watching me struggle through that. So I think he could just step back. He could step all the way back here. And then it's like, realistically, what is my game plan then? I think I have to step back to add a defender to this. But there's just simply too many attackers. Big yikes. We can push this forward. We attack the queen. I think let's just play this. We're definitely a little bit spooked about this diagonal over here. This, I don't believe in it. I take, you take, I take, you take here. And I just move my rook somewhere. Okay, so he's coming in attacking this guy. It's getting way too complicated, bro. We attack the queen, no? The queen comes here. We take, you take. If I step over, you grab the pawn. What if we just step back here? We allow this, we take. This might be the move. Because this is just a simple threat on the knight. So I think stepping back might be... Or I jump forward and I allow this. No, then this is hanging. Gosh darn it. Do I go all the way back? No, that traps my rook. That was a terrible idea. Forget I even said that. I step over. And just allow this. Let's do it. You can for sure grab this, but I'm still not convinced that it's the best idea. And this pawn is hanging, like when I move the knight. It's like if we do something like this. Or like this. This bishop sucks. We got way too many pawns in the way. We go here. This is getting way too complicated, bro. I think I'm just losing now. We attack the queen. If you take... I take. I think this might be the only way to get out of it. You take my queen, I take your queen. You take my bishop, I take your bishop. No, you take it with check. Here, here, I take the queen, you take here, I take, you take. I'm just losing. Defend like this. I'm thinking like this, just because there's pinning ideas. So we play this. If you take, I just take like this. We're playing it. I don't know what else to do. Then I have ideas of moving the knight Attacking the queen. I might have to play this. This is freaking ridiculous. I can also step back and guard the pawn now with this bishop and get out of harm's way. I don't think that any attack either arrived on either side of the board. We're just having like a straight up tactical scrimmage right now. Like no h4 or h5. You know, none of that nonsense happened. It's just like we're fighting over like where do we want to put our pieces? Your bishop kind of sucks. Something like this probably makes sense. And in the middle of all this, he could just go ahead and grab a pawn. I don't think that's correct, though. No, it's not, because I just take here. And then what are you doing? That's checkmate. He doesn't want to get rid of these pawns. But very soon here, I might be able to... We play this. Probably that was a really bad move. If anything, that's just opening the stuff up here for this. But it gets rid of this. So I can step out of here. Attacking the queen, defending. Probably we got to play this. Okay. We can jump in. And if he takes, my queen gets in. We jump in, attacking the queen. You have to take. Then I take, then you take. It's not good. Let's play something slow. I'm constantly worried about this knight over here. I'm not sure if that's what I need to be worried about. And I want to play this, but I can't condemn my bishop to being stuck along over here. And I've got 2 minutes and 19 seconds. We definitely need to step things up. I'm stressed out. I'm stressed out. I don't know if this is fun. Please subscribe. Did I show you guys my subscriber count? Okay, we got this. In the... That's just a straight up crazy threat check. I'm just straight up threatening this. You have to do something about that. And what is this knight actually doing? Once I play this, then I'm quick to play this, and then this. Has to be correct. Here. Here. Check. Here. Here. Check. You could block with the knight, but then I take with check. No way that's good. This wins the knight. Am I getting checkmated? I almost played the wrong move. Okay, we're playing this. We have this. That doesn't accomplish really anything. This is for sure pinned. Okay, we're doing it. We go for it. I can play this. This is the whole issue. He's got this. Oh, Jesus. This got pretty ridiculous pretty quick. Oh, boy. this, this. I mean, it lines up my rooks. Rook sacrifice. No, it's defended by the queen. Am I missing something incredibly dumb? Go for this. If he takes here, we trade the queens. Now we're just in a ridiculous, crazy endgame, but I think that I'm going to be able to survive. If you play something like this, I can just take. I'll be able to play this. He steps up, I step back. No. Dude, I cannot decide what to play. I'm freaking out. He plays this, and I'm in trouble, right? But I don't have to do anything. Boom, boom. I'm doing this with 9 seconds on the board. Grab this. That was sketchy. He's got this. What about this? Jesus, bro. We're pushing this pawn. I've got this. If he plays this, I've got this. Oh my flippin' God. Give up, bro. Grab this. Grab that with check. And you can resign. That was a game of chess right there. That was a game of chess right there. And I recorded so many games in a row of me losing. Oh my God. Sorry if my energy wasn't all the way there. That was insane. I don't even know what to think. Let's look at it with the computer. I am guaranteed none of that endgame was accurate. That was a wild game of chess. Let's check it with the analysis. We're going to do it in under 5 minutes. Incredibly quick. We'll zoom back, and we're basically just going to look at the major positions. So let's hop into it. We got the Sicilian. What is this one called, bro? Someone put it in the comments. I guess it doesn't say. I have to, like, turn it on. I got to turn it on. Okay, so we go for it. Bust open the center. I call this the 4 knights variation, even if it's not. Oh, sorry, I'm supposed to change scenes so you guys can see the, this. We got my voice going. We got the audio on the board going. Okay. Supposed to castle same side. Nope. Never in a million years. We develop a bishop. We take with the queen. Oh, jumping forward with this fork was just... That's a nice move. You can get out of it by attacking me, but I can take with check and you have to come back. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? Obviously, this move would have made sense. Okay, I missed that. He steps in. And I stepped back. This just straight up ruined my pawn structure, but he trades the bishop for the knight to ruin my pawn structure. I do this, prepping this idea. It's not that great, but it's about the same. It always fluctuates around even. Jumping forward with the knight is the right idea. He steps back, then pushing this pawn. Okay, so I spent forever thinking about this. I play the correct move. I knew that if something else happened, I was winning. So he stepped all the way back. That was the best move, and it's what I calculated last. I kind of was like, what happens if this happens? What happens if something else happens? Pushing forward again, and I do it. I do find the best continuation. The knight jumps over, one of the best moves. We slide over with the rook defending. He pins us. We defend with the bishop. It's slightly better to defend with the pawn. Is it? Let's let the computer think. Jesus, I play the best move, defend with the bishop? Crazy. We slide all the way back. No, we defend with the pawn. We get this knight so that he's not going to take this with check, okay? Like, we're scared of so much stuff looking here. Or looking through. I don't even know what I'm trying to explain. Then we slide back with the bishop, I believe, covering the pawn. And then here I realized that I had 2 minutes against 5 minutes, and I just straight up traded this off. I knew that it wasn't a great move, but I did it just to keep things a little bit more simple. We trade. Threatening the checkmate would have been better. Not a checkmate, but it is definitely scary. He could have played this, but I'd take en passant. The knight repositions coming this way. Okay. And we take. He steps over. It's not even the best move to win the knight. We sack. Oh, never mind. We just straight up attack the queen and force this first. Let's look into it for a second. He takes. Then we freaking fork these guys. That's tactical. That is tactical. You got to see two pretty sick rook moves. You do not see a fork like that with a rook on the side of the board with a queen and a bishop very often. That is not something that I'm looking for. Straight up just not looking for that. Okay, we give the check. This idea also is winning. He blocks. I took here. I didn't know what to do here. Obviously, stepping over with the king makes the most amount of sense. This is what we're freaking worried about. Just step over with the king. We get out of this nonsense, or this makes sense. I felt like I had to do something over here, so we gave this check. But then the problem is my queen is under threat. So we got to do something with the queen. If I would have thought about it for a second, obviously stepping over with the king would have made the most amount of sense. Because after this check, or after the check or whatever, the rook is attacking my queen. Okay. Then I saved. I go ahead and do a little defense here. Because I figured this was going to happen. And then I had this fork at the end where he had to take back. And I knew that it was good for me. So he takes. Immediately, I play this move. He captures, and then I just know that I'm in an endgame where my king is weak, but I'm up a freaking piece. I know that I should be able to win this. We step up. Ooh, okay. We defend. We attack the rook. The rook scoots up and attacks us. We scoot back because I didn't know what to do. I'm also operating on no time at all. I can take here because if take in... Oh my god, this was defended by the bishop in that position. Oh my god. Okay, so I was thinking about getting the bishop back here to defend this when the rook moved. I guess in this situation it just straight up is. Because I can go boom, take, and then all of a sudden we're threatening this with check. Okay, we get out of this with a check, so this is defended. Okay, that's complicated. I'm not going to find that in like 2 seconds. Instead, I push a pawn on the side of the board. We do grab this pawn at some point, I'm pretty sure. Again, the same tactic still exists where this rook is defended. We push a pawn. And we take a pawn over here. He steps forward. We step out. I'm wiggling around here. We go all the way back just to not get in the way of anything. And like be in a safe kind of defended square. We push. I'm still winning. It's saying to like give up just everything. Because he can sacrifice, 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 take, and then win this. And I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Actually. But I realized that I've got this passed pawn. If I push it far enough, he's going to have to alleviate the pressure here and put something on this side of the board. And right now we got a lot of pressure around my king. Okay? So I realized if I push this pawn all the way until this square, he has to address it. And so there's a lot of pressure going on, and I'm trying to distract it. Like, I didn't really think I was going to get a queen, but I thought I was going to at least get to trade a pair of rooks. And if we trade a pair of rooks, then I'm good to go. So he takes. I take. He takes. I take, he gets the rook, but then how is he stopping this pawn? So the tactical sequence that he played here just didn't make sense. He should have given another check, but realistically, I don't know what else he was supposed to do. He played the best move. It's +3. He's losing really no matter what he does. And so we do get the queen. Plain and simple, this is just like clean up, you know what I mean? Move the queen around. I got a queen, you don't, so I'm bullying him. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you learned anything or simply enjoy watching me play chess, please subscribe. I'm on a mission to reach 2,000, and today we're at 1,887. I'd love you to be one of them. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. I love you. Bye. Oh, hello, my fellow chess enthusiast. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. In today's episode, what we're actually doing is training for a friendly chess tournament that I'm going to be going to, and we're going to play the Alien Gambit. I'm not... Never mind, no we're not. I think I just pushed this forward. I'm not 100% sure, but... Okay, I'm already out of opening prep. I was trying to play the Alien Gambit. I think now we're just in the Carl Klein advanced variation. I think there's definitely some fear. This is a line that I don't actually face too often, but I think we take, take, take. He develops the knight. I have to pin him. We're going to do this. I'm cool with opening this diagonal. We'll develop this knight like this. We're kind of asking for it with the pin over here. And I'm not really 100% sure what to think about this queen over here. We could just step up. And we will do so. This queen seems like it's causing some problems, so I'm a little bit more comfortable just like instantly trading it off. We trade off the queens. We take in the center. We'll put this knight over here to defend this in case he ruins our pawn structure. Go ahead and ruin the pawn structure. I don't know if I care. And I think we might just go for this. Let's just go for it immediately. Okay, we'll step up. This is still defended, and I'm really kind of ready to attack this. You got a castle. Okay, you don't have to castle. You can play that instead. We'll play this so that this whole file isn't a problem. The knight can't jump in and attack my bishop. He can definitely step in like so. But I'll get freaky and defend with my king. And bro is playing just incredibly quickly. Okay, I have to trade that off. There's really no other option. This seems like the most forcing move. We step over. Oh. Do we? Yeah, this is defended twice. There's really no great way to, like, get rid of it. He could play this. Once I play this, his knight does jump in. But, I mean, I just step over. Okay, we're going to do it. I think this move looks fancy, but I don't think it's too incredibly scary. Like, he jumps in. Okay. Now we just play this. This is held. I'm not actually really threatening to do anything with any of these rooks over here. If anything, this rook is just now pinned, like stuck. So it looks good, but I have no wiggle room to do anything along this second rank. I think we just go for this. Trade. I'm going for it. My rook's in the position. Like, he's got a lot of threats. Like, this is... But this is frozen. If I don't move my pieces, you don't got to move your pieces. So you're going to have to either give up on this or try and figure out a way to, like, make something happen over here. Where this move just gives me this. Okay, so he wants to step in. Let's think about this for a second. If I step in, we're actually chilling. You can't get in because my knight is here. This is still held. This doesn't do anything. I'm pretty quick to play a move like such. And my pawns are pretty freaking weak. We step back? Or do we just trade? And then we get behind this? Okay, what if I step here? He can get in. Let's trade. I'm not really convinced that it was great. We step here. You can get in, but I'm grabbing this immediately. He could play like this. Okay, we do grab this. We take. That gives him the check. We slide back. This guy is all of a sudden kind of weak. I've got 1 minute, but I'm up the pawn. I can kind of put pressure on this. He's going for this. Here, take, step over, take. He wins 2 pawns there. What if I just launch? What do I do here? He's almost certainly going to win this. Here, push, take, and I just made a new outside pass pawn. Probably hit me with a check. I have to step back. I don't want to spend too much time here. I think this is the right move. Which pawn is more important? I think I push. Oh, but then you take here. I chase you away. Okay, we go for this. If you go here, I take this one. And then this becomes the new outside pass pawn. So we're going to take that. I'm shielded from the checks along this file. I think we go for this. We grab this. He grabs this. We get behind this. Doing it. This is how you win king and pawn endgames. We get behind this guy. He defends. Brilliant. Don't know what to do. His king is cut off. Fudge. We gotta defend. Now he's gonna try and freaking flag me, bro. Yikes. Where are you going, bro? You fudged up. You fudged up big time. Uh-huh. Oh, did he fudge up? Okay. Freaking get out of here, bro. Get out of here. And I'm going to take all of the pawns as well. He disconnected. It looks like he just left the game. That is a prime example of opposition right there. King and pawn endgame, but he fudged up in the end. He could have, one, just accepted the draw. Two, tried to flag me by keeping the rooks on the board. Or three, let me win and trade off into a losing king and pawn endgame. And so he chose the latter. And so we've got 36 seconds. Oh my goodness, I almost feel bad for him here. I was winning though. Or at least I was on the happy side of the draw because I've got some extra pawns. But right here, I was happy taking the draw. I would have shuffled. I would have shuffled back and forth 100%. Even I would have shuffled my rooks there. But doing this, I think what he needed to do was just play this. That way when I step in, you get opposition. So if he plays this, I would have had to play something like this, where he steps forward, I step forward, claim victory. So I think it was still a draw. He just had to be very patient. That's something that you're going to have to just learn about these end games. We're not even going to really analyze the beginning portion of this game, but let's just fly through this real quick. Not really 100% sure what to do here. Capturing is best. Develop some pieces. Probably the queen move is a little bit questionable, but you know what? It gets us out of a lot of problems, so we trade. That pawn is for sure just hanging, but I was scared about the queen. We trade back. Okay. Defend this, because we're going to lose this defender. Trades the bishop for the knight to ruin my pawn structure, but who really cares? We then, like, solidify our center. We go to develop our piece. He trades, we trade. Completely even. Step forward with the king. Look how happy my king is doing such stuff. We really got to trade this, because that's just too many attackers on this pawn. So we do this, and it ruins his pawn structure. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now... Sorry. My computer is so slow. Jesus. I thought about this move first. Because if he ever moves the knight, or like does something else with the knight, I am getting pretty active pretty quick. But whatever. We try and get active this way. It's still a draw. And then realistically, like, I'm not actually threatening to infiltrate anywhere. So I'm actually not doing so well. He can, like, for sure push the pawn. He can move the knight. There's a lot of things that he can do here. But this gives me the trade, which puts my rook on the back rank, which is hard to deal with sometimes. We're stepping around. We trade the knights correctly. I'm slightly winning. We grab this pawn. He goes for the push. Capture is fine. Okay, still a draw. Capture. And then this is good. It's just like getting a defended square on my 7th rank. So pushing this pawn forward, that's a genius thing. I've still got 3 pawns on the 2nd rank. And he basically just like solidified the c2 square for himself. And my rook is nowhere. He was gobbling pawns. So we play correctly over here. Let's see how accurate this was. We push this pawn. I felt like saving this pawn and just... Oh, he could have just gone for this one. But then I step over and he grabs this one. And then I grab this one. Okay. Then it's a total draw. He screws up a little bit by letting me get this one. He could have gotten both pawns. We slide in. We're attacking this. I take correctly. He takes. And it's still just a complete draw. And I was really low on time. I had 35 seconds. There's no increment. So I was really okay to shuffle. This is still a draw. Sorry, let's make sure that I played the right moves. Okay, stepping over is still a draw. Stepping here is still a draw. I step up. He steps over. Where did he go astray? Oh, he could have stayed here. And then what am I doing? Here, here. And if I step back, you step forward. I step over, you step over, I step over, you step over. Okay, so he basically just yielded for no reason. But sometimes that's all you got to do, bro. Just trade down into a king-pawn endgame and hope that you don't blunder first. Sometimes that's all there is to it. Trade everything equally as you can. And, dude, at the very end of the game, I guess it's really not too incredibly hard to see, but when you don't have a lot of time on the clock, sometimes it will be a position just like this, where it's like, okay, let's say it's this position. Say it's like Black's move, and he's got the option of playing all of these moves. Let's say, and only playing this is winning. Only playing that is winning. Everything else loses. Or it's like, I don't know how to explain it. You have to make like one really obscure pawn push on the side. Like say in this position, it's like, okay, I had to push a pawn. And sometimes it's really hard to calculate like the complete end race and stuff. So one thing that I recommend to play for playing higher rated opponents is just like get into a king and pawn endgame, and sometimes you'll be in the situation where the win is essentially impossible to calculate or very difficult. And sometimes you're just like faced with this decision. It's like, all right, should I slide my rook up here, or should I take the pawn with my king? And it, like, they look kind of even, but it's like, oh, the rook move is winning and the king move is losing, and it's impossible to calculate either one. And sometimes, okay. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope that analysis wasn't too long. Sorry for yapping a whole bunch in the end. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. Please subscribe. Today we are at 1900, baby. We made it. All right. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. I love you. Get out of here. Bye. Oh, hello and welcome back, and thank you so much for clicking on my video, my fellow chess enthusiast. In today's episode, we are actually training for a friendly chess tournament that I'm going to in 30 minutes, and it's going to be 5 plus 0, and the format is basically if you win, you get 3 tickets. If you lose, you get 1 ticket. If you draw, you get 1 ticket. And so whoever gets the most tickets wins. I'm pretty sure that we just go for this, and we just kind of allow him to get the center. You know what? I've learned a thing or two about this. There's this defend, push, and then when my knight moves, there's this check. So we're actually going to step back on this diagonal. If the pawn push comes in, we play this, so be it. We're going to break this because that was just an immediate threat on our knight. We're pushing this. I don't want to be completely claustrophobic here. We're going to push this forward. Not 100% sure if it was the correct move, but we are going to just go for it. And you know what? You know what? I needed to put my queen somewhere. I didn't want to castle this way. We'll go for this pin next. This pin. Okay, never mind. We will not be going for that pin. The knight comes over here. I want to scoot. We've got a 5-minute game of chess. This dude is rated 2,000. I wouldn't really recommend trying to win a game of chess like what I'm going to do, but it's going to be fun, and we're gonna go for the best thing we can do. If he launches this, I'm not going to castle this way. We're going to castle this way. It just didn't make sense. He's already got this huge lead in development. I'm playing this. I don't really know what to do with my queen, and my queen I feel like is kind of suffocating my pieces here. So we're going to do this just so my queen is over here getting a little bit active. We're applying pressure to this pawn. If the pawn pushes, we're applying pressure to this. He goes there. Fairly reasonable. We're going to step back with the knight just so that this square is defended. Normally, you don't want to be making a bunch of stepping back moves, but I'm going to be okay with it this game because we are just going to take. If he takes with the bishop, we push forward. Now this guy is undefended. We can go here. And if he pushes forward, we take. Okay, I'm not 100% sure what I'm supposed to be doing here. This is almost hanging. Let's get active with the rook. The rook needs to be doing something. He can still play this, but we're just going to take, I think. But we're straight up threatening this. And what do you do about that? You defend like so. That actually makes a little bit of sense. But what about a freaky sacrifice, bro? Take. I don't have any good rook lift. This pawn is essentially pinned. We push forward here. Because you can't take, so you'd have to push like this. Then sacrifice? Okay, I don't want to spend a huge amount of time on this. Don't want to waste all of my time. I don't know what to do. We're doing this. If you can't take, we're grabbing this guy. My queen has like a scarce amount of moves that we can actually play. I feel like that just makes sense. Okay, he attacks my queen. Terrific. We go here. We take, he pushes, we get out of it with a check. We're going for it. 2 minutes and 27 seconds. I should probably be playing a little bit faster. Oh my god. Okay, we do get out of it with a check. We're trading. We're going here. Challenge this thing over here. I don't know if that made any sense, but we're going for it. Sliding into the position. This pawn is weak. We've got 2 minutes. I don't need to start freaking out yet. I think we've played everything pretty solid up until this point. I'm up a pawn. We're going to double the rooks. We might go for something kind of like this. going to play this. He could just attack us. This seems powerful, does it not? Okay, we're attacking the pawn. We're going for it. He defends. Awesome. We get active with the rook, no? We're attacking this now? I think we just take. Take. I have to take, I think. We play this. We're up 2 pawns. Never forget that. We played this because there's definitely some freaky back rank checkmates. Only move, we step up. We defend. Defend a little bit of everything. And then this is a threat. We go for this. You have to play this, no? No, what do you play here? You lose. You freaking lose the game of chess. This is a freaky threat. That was not the intention of putting my bishop there, but I'm glad that I did do it. That is how you take a 2,000 rated opponent. And I am winning. I just was able to grab some pawns here and there. Let's do a little quick analysis. Bishop's opening. There's a line here. There's a line here where capture, capture. And then some people are not familiar with this because that's kind of a weird opening sequence. You like leave the knight like this. You bring the queen out super early, threatening checkmate. It seems like a beginner thing, but you have to make this weird knight move where you recapture. Well, you don't do that. You recapture the pawn. And then if he takes with the queen, you just take. You got to step back with the bishop because this guy's still being attacked. But it's an interesting line, and I don't think a lot of people actually are used to seeing that. Okay, so let's just hop into this. We trade. Let's see if this scooting back bishop move, it is the best move. You can get into some issues here where this, and then this check, and you can't put your, like, if your bishop is here, when this check comes in, when your knight moves, it can get complicated. I've definitely lost a bishop doing that before. So we're not going to be doing it this game. We just play a bunch of moves. I mean, I don't know if it's really anything super important. And I was going to castle. This pawn is hanging. Okay, now I see it. I wanted to castle this way, but after he launches this pawn, he basically said, I don't want an attacking game of chess, castle same side. That is what this move does, because it doesn't really serve the purpose of doing anything on my side of the board. It was literally just saying, if you castle this way, I'm freaking pushing this pawn and you're losing. So I am slightly losing here. This pawn is just straight up hanging. So I looked at this position for 17 seconds and I did not see. We've just got 2 attackers here. That's not too hard to see. And if I take with the knight, it's attacking the queen, so he has to take like this. And then I'm pinning the knight to the rook. That would have been really easy to see. Don't know how I didn't see that. Whatever. Develop the bishop. Capture. Capture. Push the pawn. Get the rook active. We push this pawn forward. Capturing is the correct idea. Moving the queen back. Fine. We capture here. The correct idea. This seemed a little bit freaky because I'm walking into this. That was what I was really scared of, but it comes with check, so you have to move the king. Then I can move my queen out of here, and if you grab the open file, this guy is going to be fine. So what I was really worried about is there's no check, and next move he plays this. Then I'm just straight up losing, but we're lucky it came with a check. We're up a pawn. We take the queen. Threaten the bishop trade. Claim the open file. Get as active as we can with the rook. Double up the rooks. Get more active. Get more active. We're making threats. We're scooting up, just threatening things. Trade, trade, trade. We have to trade this because this check is actually we're losing the game. Because this is the luft. This is where the king wants to go. So, okay, we trade. And I could have been bold and stepped towards the center and allowed the check and stepped up like this. This makes my king is going to hide back here, okay? This is where my king is going to hide. We made a new luft. We hide here, and I'm just completely winning. We defend this. What's he really going to do? We stepped back here so that this guy is just holding on to everything. And then not only that, he's a sniper here. And then after this move right here, you have to resign. You have to take here, and then you're so screwed. You are so screwed. Because basically if you move the bishop anywhere, I'm hitting you with this check, and you're losing the game. Every single time. Because not only that, it's like check, move the king, and then I move the rook back somewhere to safety in case you do sacrifice here and the rook is undefended. So if you learned anything or simply enjoyed watching me play chess, thank you so much. Please subscribe. I'll show you the count for today. We're at 1900. Hell yeah. Moving along, moving along. We'll hit 2,000 soon. I would love for you to be one of them. Thank you so much. I love each and every one of you. I'll see you in the next one. And wish me luck in this tournament. Oh, hello, and welcome back, and thank you so much for clicking on my video, my fellow chess enthusiast. In today's episode, what we're going to be doing is playing a fast 3-minute +2 game of chess with the frickin' alien gambit. Pre-moving everything, just a show of good faith. Okay. Okay, we got the alien gambit, we pre-moved a bunch of stuff, and we've got it on the board. If you wanted to see that a tad bit slower, the main line, knight f6 instead of this, but I'll take it for what it is. I feel like this check is actually somewhat decent right now. Right. He hasn't pushed this pawn, so he's actually a little bit safer than before. Do we give this check and force this? Let's do it. He can put the knight in the middle, but I'm pretty sure that this knight is supposed to stay over there guarding stuff. Then we let him trade it immediately for my bishop. That's really was not the best course of action, if we're going to be completely honest. I know that going ahead and playing bishop e3 is the correct move in some lines. Let's try and play this. We're going to try and make something happen. I haven't given up just yet, but his knights are ferocious. Absolutely ferocious right now. We're locked into a pin. He can essentially just trade that knight off. This knight never got to give the check. We're going to step back. And we capture. He steps back. What do I do here? I think maybe I launch this pawn. I'm coming for this. Queen over here. He's got this. Do we sacrifice? Take. Push. Two sacrifices can't be correct. We're just going to step back. It can't be correct. I want to step up. Just go for this. We've got this, but he can just always take. I can play with the bishop. He steps forward. I still don't see the in. He has, like, cocooned himself with all of his pieces. For sure, we're just going to push this pawn forward. He slid on out of there. We're going to capture. Immediately, we attack this pawn. I don't see how he actually defends that. He can play this, but we're getting this check first, and you have to block. I still don't see the win. I'd probably just castle, give this check, and step over. We'll let it happen. We need to castle, get this rook over here. I get my rook over here to h1, and we're cooking. This has to be the correct move. No? We get the pawn in front of the king. I feel like that had to happen. He can play this. Yep. We've got time to stay on this file. We step back. He jumps in. We step here. What do I do here? This? Actually? So if you move, I'm winning? Is that a ridiculously crazy move right there? What if we jump in with the knight? What if we just castle and allow this? We step back. No, we don't. This move seems to make sense. It temporarily blocks this. Absolutely, it's a bonkers move, but we're playing it. This guy is also pinned. And we're getting ready to be able to castle. And his bishop is quite nice. Oh my goodness, this is a ridiculous position. Please don't let me screw this up. And I got the 2 pawns for the knight, so I think I'm actually winning here. I think I was able to spin this around. We castle. You take the pawn. That can't be correct. Check. You step up? What about this? What does that threaten? We castle. You can't take this pawn. It's defended tactically by this. This little maneuver. And the king has a scarce amount of squares. But he's got a good defense. Okay, so he's going for this. We might just go ahead and play this right here. Sacrifice. You take with the knight. Stepping over seems incredibly weak. I think we just go for this. Here. Do I shove this in? I'm playing this. 46 seconds against 59 seconds. Oh, dear Lord. He doesn't have to accept the trade 100%. I don't have a lot of squares to even wiggle around with this dude. Okay, so he goes for it. This. We threaten the rook. We go here. Playing this. He's got check. Only move. Check, only move. He's got more checks. We've got this. Just threatening mate. There's a repetition maybe. This is check. If you step up, check here, check. If you go over, then I get you, but you come up. We have to play this. We're threatening mate. Now it all comes down to, is there a repetition here? What just happened? Are you freaking kidding me? Oh, he hung the queen! Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? He hangs the queen. What is that? What is that? Dude, I don't even think I've got it. That hangs my queen. This seems safe. I'm hiding behind your wall of pawns. How are you going to get to me? Oh, this is pinned, so it actually works out. Check. Gotta play something? Oh my god, I have no time. We gotta play this. We can't get back in. Forget. I hate this frickin' bishop. We play this. We block to get in. That comes with check. You don't have to take. You could touch. We step back. We step up. We step up. Go for this. This is an absolutely bonkers position. 4 seconds. Grab this. Oh! Fudge. This got wild, dude. We're going for this guy. We're going for this guy. We go for this. Oh my god. Am I going to just lose in this endgame? He can't. He can just remove the defender of this guy. Subscribe. That took years off of my life. Okay, let's hop into the analysis. Control Z. Bada boom, bada bing. We're over here now. I'll show you the main line of the Alien Gambit because that's something just fun that you should know how to play. So we hop in like this, the knight comes, and we play this freaky move right here, where the best move is to push the pawn, but most people will push here. Even if they push here, you still go into the gambit, it's just not as strong. Normally they play this, you sacrifice, this will be the structure. Now, if you look at the structure we had the same exact thing other than this pawn being pushed. So let's hop back to the real game and just fly through this. So we have basically the same structure. The knight is here instead of this pawn being pushed. Whatever, it's still about the same. So all of this is not too incredibly important. He could have just traded off the bishop for the knight. I don't see why he didn't. We're wiggling around. We fade away some attacks. But if you look at the computer analysis, I hover at around the same negative 1.3 that starts with the gambit itself. I think the actual gambit is negative 1.7. But whatever. I'm still fluctuating. I'm down 1.5. Let's just call it that on average. So we line this up. So we basically pin the knight. So if he moves, we're going to capture this because the rook can capture back. He gets aggressive here. He's looking at this weak pawn, but I straight up just castle into it, and I say, who even cares? Now, for some reason, this doesn't work, because I guess he can just capture. I play this. He gets the bishop. We get this, but he pins me at the very end of it. So I did not see all of that, and it gives an equal position. So my little tactic, there was one step further with the tactic. There was a pin residing in the end of all of that. So we trade off this bishop. This is the dude defending all of the light squares. Now we've got one more hombre defending all of the dark squares. So we're doing quite well here. We're doing quite well. He grabs a pawn, and in this position, capture. How do I turn off the computer? He captures back. Find mate and 4 in 20 seconds. That was 10 seconds. So I hope I did not ruin anything for you. I did not find it in the game. I saw this move, but I saw like a repetition. I saw step over, step here, then he steps up, and I forgot about like one of my most powerful pieces on the board, literally sliding to the only open file in the position. Like the whole reason that I pushed this pawn and traded it off and traded the rooks was to replace this rook that traded with this freaking rook. I got 2 rooks. That's why we traded one. We want this one to come over. So bada boom, bada bing, bada bing. Whatever you block with, I'm getting in like that, or you block with the bishop and I'm getting in like this. Boom. That was the mate and 4. I did not find it. I hope you found it. I did not. So this blunder right here, it's not really assuming unless you see that mate and 4. He captures here, and it goes from minus 7.7 to mate and 4. Look at the valuation bar right here. That's just about as big of a swing as it gets. Boom. So I freaking miss it. I do move the rook over to the open file, but not with a check. Now he has time to grab this pawn with a check. All that I can assume is he made a mouse slip and didn't grab the pawn, so I get the queen. Sick. I'm finally winning. Now, I should be able to convert this. We jump around. Realistically here, after this check, sliding all the way back here to get in like this. That is what I need to do. Like, my queen is really not going to be doing anything over here. This is a whole open diagonal. If I get this, or even like pin here, threatening this and this and this, and this check, and pin the bit, bro, that's all I needed to do. I don't see it. I slide back to defend this pawn, which doesn't even work. He can just still take, and it's still check. So that didn't even work. So we still have to move. Right here, I can just straight up trade the rooks. You can't run anywhere, so all you can do is stay along this file, and you take my rook, and then I take you. And then even here, like with 10 seconds on the clock or whatever I had, this is not incredibly easy to convert. It's you can convert it, but with 10 seconds, it gets a little sloppy. So I didn't find it. I'm freaking running around with my king. We're giving some checks. We're stepping around, and he literally baits me into it. So this move would have made the most sense here. Launch the pawn up forward. This knight in the middle of the board is causing all my problems. If you go here, I take you. If you give this check, I take you. If you go here, I give you this check. If you go back, maybe I give you this check. I do something, pin this guy, whatever. I'm not afraid of the knight anymore. Literally, I should have played this move. That pawn never got a chance. We step in, and he freaking baits me. He baits me with an open pawn. How long has this thing been going? 5 minutes? We're wrapping up. He baits me with a pawn. He throws a pawn at me, and I say, oh, free pawn. And he says, oh, free queen. Not free, but I got the queen. He absolutely got the queen. And it happened. And now it's just a draw with precise play. And if you know me, I don't play precise. And so we're doing the hocus pocus dancing around. Nothing good is coming of it. It's still a draw. But I'm supposed to play boom, boom, boom. And we're double attacking this. You got to defend this. And it's drawable. It's actually in the favor of white. That's all I needed to do. Instead, I step back to defend like a beta, but he straight up just pushes the pawn so it's not being attacked by the knight. It's in between the radar. The knight can't see here, only these squares. He steps forward. Oh god, what am I supposed to do? I guess just launching this and like getting behind it and sacrificing for this later, or trying to get in the way of my king. A lot of those moves would have made sense. And in this position right here, I lose on time because I was trying to find a good move. And there really aren't any. I successfully threw away my advantage. But what are you going to do? I had 2 seconds, and I had been living off of my 4-second increment since I got down to 2 seconds here. So I was essentially living off the increment since this moment, essentially taking 2 seconds to make each move. And so it's a tragedy. I hope you enjoyed that. I normally don't post videos of me losing, but there you go. That's me completely fucking it up. Please subscribe. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. 2 plus 2. Now we're talking. That's more my speed. Same rules apply. We're trying to absolutely demolish this dude. I like what I'm seeing. And I'm gonna make it casual for him. We're gonna go here. Just in case he plays this, I get 1 step forward with the pawn. Don't you dare play some nonsense. We're gonna play this. We get it. Okay, 1 step forward with the pawn. Do it, bro. You needed those pawns. Launch, launch, launch. Launch, launch, launch. Which one is it? I'm pretty sure they're both decent. Last minute, all castles. Screw the nonsense. Okay, there's a fork, so we're just going to take. If you take with the knight, I'm taking. You go here, and I'm stepping in. If you play like that, I think I have to play this, because that is a fork, and I just don't want it to happen. So this is a little bit more active. He can attack my queen. He can go boom, boom. I'm going to take. We jump to the middle. We're attacking this bishop. Then we're going for this pawn break. Move that bishop, bro. We're going for this pawn break. We're going to castle and put a rook there. You're in love with me? I'm in love with you too. Each and every one of you. But Matthew Ping slightly more than all the others. Those are the rules. That's the truth right here. Matthew Ping was here since the days when I had 100 subscribers. Okay. I want to just take, but then that adds this, makes it a little bit tricky. But this is a defensive piece over here. I think we're going to be able to castle. He can jump in. Oh, he takes with the rook. Now I can't push this. But we can push, push. And if he takes with the rook, we're going for it. Yeah, play that move, bro. Play that move. Wiggle over like this. I am going to need to castle sooner rather than later, but I am going to be able to put my knight into the middle of the board with tempo on the rook, so that looks quite appetizing, and he can't even play this to attack this rook. And if I can get this rook off this file, I will be able to push this pawn. Do you even do anything apart from chess? I snowboard every season. I just got into spearfishing. I've traveled to 20 countries by myself or with a Latina. I do a lot of scuba diving, skydiving, surfing. I hiked the tallest mountain in the United States, like a G. I go to the gym literally every single day. I have gone to the gym every day this month. No breaks, no rest, nothing. What else? And I'm a massage therapist and I work in finance. So I love investing. I invest all my money. When I get this first paycheck from YouTube, all right, we're castling this way. Putting the rook here and pushing this pawn. Not scared, bro. What are you doing over here? Who do you think you're fooling? Okay, so he goes for this. I think a casual little step over might be in order. Casual little step over. He could sacrifice. But at this point, do I make the hook? If he pushes, I push forward. Okay, we are going to make the hook. Sacrifice? I think our bro over here is getting a little scared. This. That's what we want. Mine first. Take it. Take it. Nothing's gonna hurt you. Nothing's gonna happen, bro. How do I make money? Right now I'm not working, but I work in finance, and I'm a massage therapist, and then I've got a couple other like side hustles, and I've made $30 from YouTube in total. So he wants to just do it. What do you guys think? Does this guy have what it takes? I'm not even gonna think about it. If he takes, I'm taking. I can also give a check. I can also attack the rook. This might be time for a little bit of calculation. We can play this. We can play this. Check. Run. No, I make a queen. Check here. Push this. Take here. I take this with check. You then hide. What is the right move? God damn it. This one. He's going to take here. Dude, we're going to be in the same structure, but I got more pawns than you. Actually, no, I don't. It's kind of the same. He's got this. Actually, that's quite scary. I have no such said check. He can push, push. Do it, bro. We have literally the same structure. I've never seen a game of chess like this ever in my life. Fork. We take. Check. Try and run, bro. It's never gonna happen. We've got this. 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 Check. Fuck. Big yikes. This is an absolutely bonkers game of chess. Don't lose on time, bro. We grab this. Grab this. He can get in with a check. We step forward. We're going to attack this. Bro, I should have recorded that. That was sensational. That was a really fun game of chess. That was a really fun game of chess. Oh, hello, and welcome back, and thank you so much for clicking on my video, my fellow chess enthusiast. In today's episode, what we have the pleasure of doing is playing High Man in 1801 from the United States. He starts with a weird opening. I'm not actually sure. This is called the Ready. It doesn't matter because we're going to play c6 and absolutely demolish this guy. We are playing a 5+2, so that means we have 5 minutes, and every move we make, we get 2 seconds increment. If there's one person watching this is their first chess video. That's how chess works, the time controls. And so I think we're going to just transition into a... Don't let me get my openings wrong, but this could be some sort of a variation of just the Caro-Kann. So generally, you want to develop your knights before bishops, but in this case, I want to develop my bishop here because I want to push this pawn, and I don't want this bishop to be locked out of the pawn chain. Bad arrows, bad circles, whatever. Now we're going to lock the such said pawn chain. This guy's getting chased around a little bit. The pin is strong. We will be developing this knight. Then, I guess we'll break this pin. Guess we'll break the pin. And we'll do a little same side castling action. Why not? So he's really applying pressure here. I think what we're going to do is just step back. This was a threat, so we will capture this way. And if we go back like 2 moves, the reason we're doing this, yes, we're ruining our pawn structure, but he can capture, and then hit me here with this really annoying check, where I step over and the bishop just gets out and he won a pawn. And so we're stepping back. Yes, we're getting a ruined pawn structure, but he didn't win a pawn, so now the pawn's here instead of losing it. So I call that a dub. And so now the game, we're getting into the middle game part of this action. I feel like, I don't know when the opening starts or when the opening ends and the middle game starts, but we're 12 moves in, completely equal position. I need to start thinking about a game plan. I do not have a pawn break here. He does have a pawn break here. So it might be in my best interest. He locks it down. Oh man, this guy might be a really good chess player. I was thinking that I really might want to hold down to this c4 square, because that's the pawn break. So if I launch forward, I was going to grip down on it a little bit. And if he played this, I could play this. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm still gripping on it. Or he could play this and I have a weak pawn. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. What should I play here? I guess let's do something with the queen. We're defending this enough different ways. If this happens, we take this. I'll have to step back, actually, where this capture. I come over here. But if I've learned anything about chess, it's in the opening. You can play pretty much any freaking move, and it's going to be equal. So there's no reason to, like, get your panties in a bunch about it. And I'm not really sure. What should I do here? Should I jump back this way? These guys look at each other. I mean, if I take the knight's just coming in. But for some reason, I feel like trading off some stuff is in my best interest. I'm not a huge fan of this pawn push happening, so maybe we just push a pawn on the side of the board and say, come and get me, bro. Come and get me. You're not gonna knock me out by making a bunch of random pawn moves. And so he has quite the space advantage over here. And I like that this knight is guarding this square. I could step back, capture, and then capture here where I'm eyeing to bring my knight this way. I think let's just do it. We're holding down this square, nice and dandy. This pawn push is coming in where I will capture and the knight will get in. At least my queen is not going to be... There's not going to be any tempo-winning moves. But he could play capture, capture, pawn push, capture. The knight gets in. Maybe I jump up like this. But then he can place a knight here where if I capture, a new knight just replaces it. And potentially he has a tempo on my queen. Okay, so he wants to play this. We're going to just capture. If he captures here... We don't have an incredibly huge amount of places to put my knight. Oh my goodness. The chess gods have blessed me. The queen is disconnected from this. This is the only defender of my bishop. So I think we do have to trade here. And if you take, I might just take again. And if you take, then I take back, then you take back. Wait, then did I lose all my pieces? Okay. Now we do need to be doing something with this knight. The whole idea was to come over here. I could get fancy and play this. But then he probably goes for this. I could play this, right? What if he pins the knight? I jump in. We don't want to trade because that just gives him the open file. We've both got 3 minutes. I think this is a sketchy move, but it might work. Where I play in... We could play this, then jump in. Oh my goodness. This is scary to play, but I think it's okay. You push, I just take. You take, I take. You take, I take. Probably you attack, I defend. Let's do it. I could also play this. If he plays something like this and I play, he can kind of double. I guess we're a little bit worried about the doubling action. He could also be more brave and play something like this. Try and double over here. Or go here so this pawn push will defend the rook at some point. Okay, so he's going for this. Man. I think we just got to go for this. Because he could, at some point, take this rook once my knight moves. And then I have to take back. And this was... Oh, that was probably a weak move. I probably just made a weak move, but it's still equal, okay? Still equal. We're doing all right. This knight is actually pretty stupid. He can't move back very comfortably, and this is an occupied square by 2 pieces, okay? The knight and this guy. So this knight is actually a little bit offsides. But if he gets over here, it does get scary. But both of our knights are kind of having this little Mexican standoff of defending this h7 square. So I think we're chilling. We could play this. You can't play this, I'll just capture. I think without even thinking, we're jumping in with the knight. Without even thinking. He captures. I like the idea of keeping all my pawns together. So we're going to capture like this. We're applying pressure to this pawn. He can capture now. And I'll have to capture back. Then he can defend. But I could just slide in and just say, like, you're not checkmating me, bro. Your knight and your queen over here. I don't think they can checkmate me. And the only way that you can make this knight move is either with a rook or your knight or a pawn. And if a pawn ever arrives here, that means his knight is not there. So this checkmate is no longer a thing. So I think we're doing all right. And now our opponent has slipped below 2 minutes. We've got a nice and healthy 40-second time advantage. And I'm kind of ready to just grab this, where if you hit me, I step back, we hang on to it. We're both arguing over this open file. I could even play a move like this, where if you capture, I get in. And I could just capture, and take this. You slide in. I slide back. Probably go for something fancy to get into my position, but if I get this pawn, that pawn's looking weak. He's blockaded, my friend. And this pawn is weak. Not to mention, like, yes, this pawn is weak, but the rest of my pawn structure, I quite like it. And my little ruined pawn structure, for sure, that was the right decision earlier on in the game. He asked me, am I streaming? I guess he can just push. We didn't really think about that. So what if we step back? We step here. If you come in, I could just take. I like this. Oh, if you defend like that, then I got the open file, though. I mean, this touches it. We go here. If you push, I just take. This. You have to defend. Okay, we're playing this. We're really going for this pawn. He is far advanced into my position. My opponent asked if I'm streaming. I'm not streaming, but I am recording. And I was streaming the other day, and I lost all of my elo. Okay, so I think this is just a simple deflection tactic. Where take, and I grab the pawn. So we're just going to do it. And we're going to go up the pawn. We're going to go up a pawn. We grab this. He can go for some freaky stuff. But I'm pretty ready to bring my rook. And luckily enough for me, all of like these infiltration squares for the rook are covered. So he's going for something here. So this rook has not really got to do anything in the action. I think we play this. He attacks my queen. We step over, guarding this. I think we play this, and how are you going to stop this pawn push? We're up a pawn. Your knight still sucks. If he trades, I'm getting in. Oh my god, he could just attack, and I take, and he takes. Do we need to be worried about this? Probably not. But I think we just want to launch this pawn. He can get in over here. 30 seconds. 1 minute. So he is going for this, but I think I'm just going to be able to capture. If I push, you can't take. And I will be able to capture back. He cannot defend like this. I'll just capture. This would be... This is too slow. I think I just capture. I think I just capture that. We still got this issue over here. Is there something that I'm missing? We take this. Okay. This is also now covered. So this pawn advancement's not going to work. But we're up 2 pawns now. This is just an extra pawn over here. I'm just going to capture. And then I'm going to push. And then put my queen closer. And oh man, I don't want to give him time because I have not won yet, but we will go ahead and give him some time. Let's go ahead and do it. For one, I can attack the queen here. I can also jump forward and then get my knight here. What do I do? What do I do? He wants his knight here. That attacks my queen. This attacks the queen and defends that. Gotta be a decent move, right? His knight is defending this. I really might just be pushing this pawn forward. A lot of pressure here. I think we're just going to push this forward. So he's going over here. Okay. He's getting in. But my knight is outposted. So he attacks the queen. But I think that just hung this. And that hung this. And that hung the knight. Oh my goodness. I gave him time. Oh, did you see the clock? Did you see the clock there? And he resigns. I mean, what else are you going to do after this situation? I feel bad for our opponent here. Getting an incredibly low time pressure. And ultimately, he's just blundering. What are you going to do here? You got to move. I'm grabbing the knight. Once I grab the knight, I'm attacking the rook. So even giving him time right there may have been an insult, actually. Because more time is not actually going to help him. And I play enough bullet that I'm going to be all right. We'll do an incredibly quick analysis. I think, I mean, that was fairly straightforward. He just made a couple blunders and I applied some pressure. What was he really supposed to do there? We're going to go ahead and switch these scenes. And here we are in the analysis, and thank you so much for making it this far in the video. I feel a little bit bad for our opponent there because he just got in really low time trouble and started making some blunders, and there was not a whole heckin' lot that he could do. Now, this did transition. So one thing that I just want to mention to you guys, when you're playing the black pieces, so I've decided that if they play e4, I'm going to generally try to play the Sicilian if they are lower rated than me. If they are higher rated than me, I'm going to stick with the Caro-Kann because I know it better. But I'll experiment against people that are having a lower elo than me, because then if I make mistakes in the opening, it won't matter as much. If I make mistakes in the opening against somebody that's already better than me, I'm playing like with a handicap that I don't need. And so one reason that I always play c6 is it can transition into the Caro-Kann. Like after this knight move, I never see that. But I'll even show you here. You can transition into the Caro-Kann from them playing d4. And so if they didn't play e4 first, there's a chance when you play c6 they go into the Caro-Kann. And so that is one good reason to play c6 first. So we hop right into this. We do get into a Caro-Kann exchange variation, whatever you want to call this. A structure that I am somewhat very familiar with. So he puts up this battery. I guess there's a lot of other moves. Best move is to step back. Yes, it ruins my pawn structure, but it completely nullifies the danger diagonal. And that was definitely the danger diagonal in the position. We do a little pawn push, I believe. A queen step up. This is kind of a basic hanging pawn tactic. I can just take this, and if he takes back, I get the queen. So he can't, so essentially I would just take the pawn for free. So that sucks. Didn't see that. Chess is hard. Can you blame me? We push a pawn. Why not? It's still equal. All you got to do is not blunder a million times. Now it's, I guess, the integrity of my pawn structure over here. I could have just stepped forward with the bishop, and if he takes, then it's like my pawn structure is already ruined. So this pawn going here is actually not the end of the world. It doesn't really make a big difference because I already have doubled pawns. So it doesn't really matter if they're doubled here or doubled here. It's kind of the same. So I didn't really realize that. We get into a little bit of tactics over here, but we just capture. And this was a risky move. Was it the best move? No, going back this way was better. But this is still one of the top engine lines, so whatever. I'm going to stick with it. Knight over here. We're defending like interference. I'm not sure what this is called, but we're putting a defended piece in the way of the attack. So like, yes, it's heavily defended, but it's scary. And there's probably going to be some tactics that arise with sacrifices or whatever. So it's better to just guard this as much as you can. And the knight being here guards it, okay? The knight gets in. We trade, we take, we step back so that we're still touching this pawn. It would have been better to just here, and then maybe step over is probably the correct idea. So we take, he takes. Oh, we just go here because then you can't take. Okay. That's quite simple. When there's two rooks, this idea doesn't exist. But when there's one rook, yes, my queen occupies the file, so you can't go here to defend the pawn. Easy to see. Don't know how I missed it. So whatever. Instead, we make things harder by chasing the pawn down like this. And we do get the deflection tactic. My computer sucks really bad when I have the computer on. But this rook is defending this, but this rook is also defending this rook. So if I just take here, he has to take back, and that leaves the pawn undefended. So now we are officially in an endgame where I'm up a pawn. We bring my rook to do something finally. We step out of the way of the rook attack, and we just jump forward, don't we? Did we push the pawn first, or we jump forward? We jump forward. If he trades, then I'm just getting active. And we go for the pawn push, because I realize if I push this one more square, you can't take. I'm going to take your rook with check. So I'm going to have three attackers. I'll have my rook, my queen, and my pawn attacking this pawn, and I'll have a protected pass pawn. Or a pawn that's protected by other stuff. And he's positionally just a little bit kaput here. He goes for this. Out of desperation, he's trying to just open up my king somehow, but this does not even work because I can just simply capture it and it's still defended. And not only that, it defends against this pawn break. So he makes another move. We do capture. So this didn't solve his problem over here. It was something out of desperation, but it didn't even fix the problem to begin with. We jump in with the queen. We're defending this. We're attacking the queen. And we push the pawn forward. Now it is 1 square away, so your rook is really, really unhappy. He is sandwiched behind the pawn, and his whole job is to stop that pawn from moving forward. And what did I play? I pushed the pawn forward. I don't hate it. Don't hate it. I feel, okay, so, like, yes, I could have gotten super active and gone here and attacked this. So, like, boom, boom would have been the idea, where if we just allow this and this, I'm still going to win the game, but I would lose some stuff. Or you can just play safer and just not let any of that happen and take a few more moves, but you're still going to win. And then this is just the blunder that seals the deal. I take this with check. It's a pretty simple fork. Not only that, but I'm also attacking this pawn. And once I take the knight, I'm attacking the rook. So the rook is going to have to go somewhere, and then I do push the pawn forward. So a sample line is this. Something like that, where I'm making a queen. Let's see how accurate that was. What do you guys think? I'm thinking like a 90%, 90%, 91%. And what time is it? 6:12. I got to go to the gym. So let's see what it is. 93%. One mistake. That's a pretty decent game of chess. Straightforward. Not too hard to digest. If you learned anything or simply enjoyed watching me play chess, please subscribe. I am trying to reach 2,000, and I'm at 1,988. You can see for yourself. So thank you so much for watching my video. I love each and every one of you. I'll see you in the next one, and bye. Oh, hello and welcome back, and thank you so much for clicking on my video, my fellow chess enthusiast. In today's episode, what we have the pleasure of doing is facing a 1977 from an unknown country with, do I dare, go for the alien gambit. We will see what happens here. Capture, capture. There's a lot of things that he can do, and to be completely honest with you, the alien gambit is not good in rapid time controls, and so we are playing a 6+3, definitely a little bit of an unorthodox time control choice by me, but I want my video to be approximately like 12 minutes long. And so we're going to go for this capture. I mean, my bishop can't go here because his bishop's eyeing me down. So we're going to just go for this check. And I believe we do go for this. I'm going to be honest, I haven't played this a whole lot. I think we step up with the queen. Normally, you don't see this bishop move. I know how to play when the bishop is trapped behind this pawn. He has a little bit more wiggle room. And so we're really going to have to come and figure something out. I think that I bring the queen up. So we're going to go ahead and just do that. We are applying pressure to this pawn. We can hit this check. Do we go for the pin first and coax in this pawn push, then step back? There's a lot of moves that I have here. We have just the jump forward, and if takes, he doesn't have to do anything. Jump forward and he steps back. Then I go for the pin. Then I castle this way. I think we're going to go for it. Hit him on the head with a check. He doesn't have to capture, though. He can just step back. And basically, trading pieces is good for him, and it is bad for me. Specifically, if we ever end up trading the queens, pretty much I lose the game on the spot, guaranteed. So we are going to have to figure out how to get to this king. And I think stepping back is probably the best move. Do we jump in with this pin? He can just defend, but then I'm ready to castle. So I think we're going to do it. We're doing something. He can just chase us around. And the lower we get on the clock, the better I feel about the position. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? Does that work? Do I need to castle first? I guess I'm still going to have that in the cards if I castle. And then I go for this. Supported by my queen and my knight. So boom. If he steps back, we hit him with a check. He steps over. I like this move. It's aggressive. It is very aggressive. We can play this, but he could just capture my knight. No, he couldn't. I think this is the move. We're going for it. Oh, dear Lord. What if he captures, and he takes like this? No, I'm attacking the queen. This is getting tactical. This is a tactical game of chess. I'm really going to do my best not to screw this up and just make a one-move blunder. But we're applying pressure. This pawn is weak. This pawn is weak. We're looking at it with a couple different things. This knight is pinned. The bishop can just step back. Oh my god, he could just take here. Then it's kind of the same problem, though. Boom, boom. And you would still have to step back. And we're getting ready to castle. And then I'm just going to launch pawns. What do you guys think? Am I going to win this game of chess, or am I going to implode and screw everything up? This move is cool, though. That's an aggressive move. I'm going to give myself a little pat on the back just for playing that. Hard to say if it was the best move or just a move, but I don't think it was a blunder. And we are trying to put my pieces closer. And then the other thing is we looked at our opponent's ratings, and we see that he is a formidable opponent in all of the rating classes, or all of the time controls. Bullet, Blitz, Rapid. Doesn't even play Classical, me either. But he's still 1900 in Bullet. So we're on equal footing. Here are my ratings if you guys want to take a look at the... I know the Blitz rating. I got a little tired and got a little tilted on stream, and I lost a solid 100 rating points. I just lost, won, and then I got off. It was not what you want. But we're up on the clock, so that's got to be good for us. Even if he's 1900 in Bullet, you know what I mean? I'm 2000, so it means something. Maybe I'm on a little bit better footing. What do we do if he just captures? Do we just take? Yeah, if he takes here. No, if I take this, he's going to take here. No, I would take. Then you take with check. That's not super fun. We push forward. For sure. We push forward. What if we take? Give me a second here. Let's throw away my time advantage. What if we capture this first? Then I think there's a tactic here. Oh no, the rook is actually hanging. I haven't castled. If I play this, if you take, then I take, you take, I step back, and then you just get out. We can't be having that. Do I play this first? Then he just plays this. Shit. That's not what you want. I could just take the bishop. You take my queen. I take your queen. You take my bishop. Ay. What if I do this? He just captures? Okay, we're playing this. This was scary. But now he just steps back here. And we will have to set our sights on new diagonals, because we cannot be trading the bishops. This guy, it's hard to say, though. If his bishop is here, none of his knights will ever be able to occupy that square, and he still hasn't played c5, which I think is good for me. But yeah, he steps back. I think we just go for this diagonal. I don't see what else to do here. Then he probably captures. He can never really capture. Yeah, okay. Instantly, we're going to play this. That is generally what I had already thought about. If he can't capture. If he captures like this, it's still not good. This guy is pinned, so he has to play this. And this guy is undefended. If he pushes, I'm scared to play something like this. But I might just go for that. It says that he left the game. Please do not leave the game right now, my friend. Okay, a little bit of a fork just happened. He's attacking this. Oh, check out what I got. A little ginseng bottle. Maybe a little shot of ginseng will help. You know what? We defend this pawn tactically by way of this check. So we castled, and he can't actually... We defended this pawn, obviously. This is actually quite scary. He could just play this, and then this. But then he sacrificed the bishop back. It's getting tactical. This is the point of the game where blunders can and do happen. He goes for it. Oh, dear Lord. We can trap. Take. He gets in. I step back. So I would go up material there, and then we go into an endgame. But dude, my king is so weak with this. What the hell? Storm of pawns coming for me. I could just ignore it. For sure, we could just ignore it. What about this? Oh my goodness, he can play this next. Where I'd have to push up. So if I push, he gets in. Probably we defend, but he hits me with this check. I would step up. I don't think I'm doing so well there. I'm going to be straight up. My attack never arrived. I screwed this up, boys. Here. And he takes my pawn. I take the bishop. You take my pawn. And then I'm just, like, down a pawn losing. We're going to go for it. Oh my god, what if he plays this first? I step up. You hit me with this. I step up. You hit me with this. I hide. You take this with check. I block. You could take, I take, you take, I take. Then this guy is still trapped at the end of the day. So I do like that. That's a really forcing line, so I don't know if you could follow me. Okay, what the hell is that? He's going to go for this check first. Okay. Here, he can hit me with this check. I hit here, check. I step up, check. I step up. We're going for this. He's got this check, but I can just... I mean, he's got this check. This is a crazy diagonal right here. I have some dark square weaknesses going on myself. And his king, because this pawn push never came in, this wasn't the official... I think we take this, no? Is there a looming checkmate somewhere? I'm going for it. We're going for it. And then we're probably just going right back. You could take it away by playing this. But if I play this, oof. 40 seconds against 1 minute and 26. It's equal now. He just sacrificed a bishop. But I am attacking this rook. But I see this check. I step up. And I'm attacking you. And you're actually kind of stuck. Your queen would have to go here, and I can grab the rook. So he's going for something. What if I just grab the rook? Do I just cash out on the rook? Cash out on the rook? It's scary. We're going for it. We're going for it. I want to play something like this. If he sacrifices, I take with the bishop. He hits me with this check. I step over. Oh god, there's this. I can never play this because this is just mate. So this would be the only move. So this is actually quite scary, but I can just hit him with the check. This check. Does that work? He just completely gave up. Oh! Oh! Man, that was a topsy-turvy game of chess right there. 15 minutes. I promise you, that was not accurate. Luckily right here, because he never captured this knight, the rook does not see the defense of the back rank. It was just a tempo thing. Like, if he grabbed this, oof, this whole idea doesn't really work. You just step over. For one, the rook would be looking at the square. Man, we're going to check this with the computer. I'm thinking like a 65% accurate game. Maybe lower. Maybe lower, because the alien gambit is just, like, not accurate in itself. We're going to change the scenes right here. Like, 79% accurate. So, really, realistically, I played, like, 83% accurate, because just playing the alien gambit is bad enough. So let's just fly through this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this in under 5 minutes. So it wasn't even the main line alien gambit, but you know what? I went for it with the content. The main line here is they either push the pawn or they push this pawn. This is the best move, but if he plays this, playing the gambit is just not as good, and it means that he has at least looked at this with an engine if they play the best move. If they play the second best move, then you still go for it, and then they can just go for c5 later. So either way, he develops the bishop, and you see this right here? Boom, minus 1.6. So that is for sure a blunder, and I don't know how many percent down it is. It doesn't say like what's the percentage lost in the accuracy for that, but whatever, we develop our pieces, we develop our knight, and let's take note. So I could hit him with a different check, but I like scooting the queen up. Okay, that wasn't the best move in accuracy for sure. We go for a little check in the middle of the board. It's not great, it's not bad. We then go for the pin, and we launch this pawn. It was one of the best moves, so okay. One of the best moves. Best move, okay, so I'm not playing terribly. Castling is the best move, of course. And he goes over here, and this is not great for him, because you're going to lose the bishop, but it actually is great for him because he's already up this bishop of material. So if he loses this bishop for free, it's not that bad. And he can grab some pawns for it. So like if I play this, he can just sacrifice and get 2 pawns, and then he's winning even more. And so what happened here? He thought about bringing the queen in. I'm really losing here. I'm really, really losing. I'm supposed to step over to make a little luft. Like this, and then I could defend at some point. Also, just my bishop is hanging laterally across the board. I guess neither of us saw that. This knight move hung the bishop, but I get this. But this is with check. Oh man, so this is just a bad move all around. But the computer is so good that it's saying we don't need this bishop. We have a huge attack here, and we're going to win the game simply by playing this check. So I saw this, but then he just grabs this with check, and then I step up. I'm losing so bad. He steps in, I do grab the bishop, and now it is completely equal. Oh my goodness. Sorry, my computer's so slow and glitchy when I'm doing the analysis. We grab the bishop, he jumps in with the knight, and I go for grabbing the rook, which isn't correct. It's still a draw, because he can play this, and he can just shuffle back and forth. So, okay, that means that... Oh, sorry, wrong move. That means that black is actually in trouble here, obviously, because I'm up 5 points of material. But let's see what happens. We capture, draw, and then this is just crushing. But instead I play this. He can grab the knight, and he does not. And now I'm winning. Now in this position, I'm winning. It's +3. This graph is all over the place. I was winning, losing, winning, and then I guess I won when I was winning, so that makes sense. And then right here, he just hangs mate in 2. Simple, mate in 2. Wherever you go, I'm hitting mate. If you go here, I go here. And if you step to the corner, I'm literally sandwiching you in the corner. So thank you so much for watching my video. I know it wasn't the most accurate, but it sure was exciting. I love playing the Alien Gambit. It fosters my attacking ability. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And I hope you learned something. Tastes like garbage. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Get out of here. Bye. So we're going to go for it. We will then jump forward with the knight. He could pin, but we always get out of it with check. We're going to bring this guy. He can push the pawn, or he can bring the bishop. Either are probably... Ho, 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 ho. Okay, so I spoke quite highly of castling this way, but seeing as he has literally 5 pawns advanced on that side of the board, castling that way just doesn't seem like the most intelligible decision. So I'm thinking developing my queen with tempo, forcing him to castle. Also, once I play this, that takes away the idea of him bringing the queen out first. Is there any other large reason not to do this? I could castle, but say we castle, then he gets to develop his queen. So I think we're going to beat him to the punchline. That is part of the benefit of playing with the white pieces. And then, like I said, castling this way is probably... It's just so risky. He's just going to push. And then I capture, and he brings this, and then he's got this. Where I'm just losing. We castle, he pushes. Even if I don't take, he takes, and it opens up. Then we got an open file on my king. Without further ado, we castle, same side. And we go into a completely symmetrical game of chess. This is my immediate idea. However, he can just take en passant. So we will take. My queen is attacked. Because he has an open file touching this, I believe stepping back and just kind of guarding everything with my queen is going to make the most amount of sense. Then we're going to make a little bit of a hidey hole. We could push it 2 squares. This is kind of an important moment. And only the queen is defending this. I've also got some coffee. So this is probably one of these moments in this game of chess where it's like, this is completely equal, and if I play this, it's like, white is slightly winning by 0.03. Or if I play this, it's like 0.02. This seems more fun. He pushes and I push. He pushes and I take? No way he ever plays that. But this is just, we're good to go. But what if he brings the queen? That is the real what if. So we might have to play this, to play this, to play this, to then play this. You following me there? Because he can quite quickly bring reinforcements to the party. Probably playing this makes the most amount of sense here. Ooh. Oh, I see. That pawn is no longer being attacked. Infiltration into the enemy's side of the board is not going to work. I can play this. I mean, he's probably going to develop and I just take. In this endgame, my audio's still good? We might just play this. He captures, I capture. Ooh. Yeah, so if I play this, he captures. I have to capture like this, but then he has this pawn push where if I take, his queen gets in. So what if I just scoop my rook over, and if he takes, I bring a frickin' rook? Or we play this, 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 then I bring my rook. Or if you take, I am bringing a rook, and this becomes a weakness. I actually somewhat like this idea, because everything I just explained. Capture, 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 boom, 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 boom. I bring this over. If you capture, my rook's getting in. I mean, you can just trade it off immediately. No, you can't. Okay. We're playing this. I don't see a huge reason not to. He could play something different, like these obscure, strange moves. Or you can trap my escape with a rook. I didn't think about that even briefly, but then my queen is a little bit offsides. A little bit offsides. And if he captures, I can just take with the queen. That was kind of the original idea. Yes. Okay, we capture. If he takes with the queen, I take, and we boom, 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 boom. And then we're fighting over the open file. These 2 pawns seem weaker than these 2 pawns, but it's really just about who can get in first. Take. If he takes with the pawn, we play this. He'll probably attack my queen. Let's do this. It also opens up like an escape for my queen. Now this is my last undeveloped piece that has done absolutely nothing. We need to check what is the status of my queen being attacked. I mean, we just play this and I can take. So I like this. Probably a little bit of rook f5 would make a fair bit of sense. Now, hear me out. Capture, take. I'm the first to infiltrate. You block, I double defend. You could play something like this, but I'm not even going to think about it. I think I either play this or this. And this pawn push is coming, but I can just take. Then you take, another push, I take, you take. You would have a passed pawn. Activity over everything. Yeah, he goes for it immediately. I mean, if he takes, I just take. If he pushes, we push forward. Here, here. Okay, we're going to double the rooks. That was the original idea all along. Next idea will probably be like bring my rook active. Then I have 2 rooks on his side of the board. Okay, we have to take this. You can go for an infiltration. But, ya bozo, I do have this where you have to capture it. Then I capture. They're going to step up. But I occupy the open file. No more thinking. Let's do it. We're in a rook and pawn endgame where he steps up, but I just take the open file. No. He plays this, but I step up. This is the move. And if he comes too far, for one, we can get a little more active. At least we're like occupying the open file. We've got 2 minutes. We're in a rook and pawn endgame. This is a very crucial moment in the game. Very crucial. King activity is everything. This is more or less equal, and then I have this 3-on-2. The kings are on this side of the board. This side is just a 2-on-2. I think bringing my king, that's going to just defend stuff over here. And if I ever attack this, I think we will just play this. He can start pushing these guys, but I just don't believe in it. We can also freeze these guys down, just waste a move. Definitely, it's a little bit scary. Okay, we launch forward. You capture, I capture. Your king gets in. I hit you with a check. You're getting back out of there. This is probably just a draw. His rook is defending literally everything, dude. I don't think there's huge opportunities to win this. And he's got 7 freaking minutes, bro. Oh my god. He needs to learn how to utilize his time correctly. You shouldn't be in a... You should... If there was ever a moment in this game where I had like a winning tactic or anything, bad uses of time by both of us. So he does want to go for this. What if I attack? This is the move. What does this do? Oh my freaking god, it gets in. You hate to freaking see it. Here, here. Take with check. This. I take with check. You go back. Then I take again. This is the move. You can defend. But look. Check. Scoot back a bozo. Then I take another pawn. Defending and attacking the rook. With pretty... yeah. Oh, he resigns. Bro, you had 6 minutes and 46 seconds on the clock. My bro. Crispy. That is not what you want to do. How on earth do you play this move with 6 minutes on the clock? I have 46 seconds. Something that potentially could have happened is he was like, oh, my opponent has 46 seconds. I got 6 minutes and 46 seconds. If I play fast, he'll have to play fast and I'll pressure him in the endgame. But all he had to do was check my bullet rating and say, God damn, bro, this guy is rated higher in bullet than he is in rapid. I'm not going to try and pressure him in low time situations. Flabbergasted by the decision of some of these chess folk. But either way, let's hop into an analysis. We're going to change the scene. If my face glitches out, don't stress about it too much, because that's what... I'm going to edit this part out. Don't worry about it. And here we are in the analysis. And if you made it this far in the video, check out this frickin' Rubik's Cube collection, dude. That is unfrickin' real. I also got one more. Dude, I just played a perfect game of chess. I might have potential to be a chess YouTuber, because that game really, I played perfectly. That was a perfect game of chess. Take a look for yourself. Now this is a boring flatline position where we grinded down into an end game finally to get an advantage. I played 96% accurate, 0 blunders, 0 mistakes, 0 inaccuracies, with 12 average centipawn loss, bro. That essentially means that I was making no errors. So let's just hop right into it. We'll turn this off briefly because it's going to make my camera lag. Also, if you are impressed by that, you should check out my subscriber rate. Look at that, 2,092. I'm trying to reach 2,100 if you want to help me. I'm trying to create a following and make this chess YouTube channel actually do something. So we have a completely symmetrical structure. One line that I would like to point out to you is the bishop developing. This is what's called the copycat variation, where you develop the queen immediately attacking the pawn that has been left to die by this bishop. Now, in this position, what they need to do is put the bishop back, step over with the king, or push this pawn. But nobody ever does that. They bring the queen where you coax him. You simply attack. This is the most commonly played move, by the way. You can check it over here in the Lichess database if we step back. Yeah, see this right here? Most commonly played move, and it sucks. You have a 69% win rate with white. You attack the queen, he comes down here, and you just step on over. And long story short, we're not going to go into an incredible amount of detail into this, but you should just know this line, study it yourself. I have other videos on it. It wins me a lot of games of chess. Unfortunately, we don't have that. And in this position, what you need to do is push this pawn, because there is this sacrifice. If you don't push the pawn, say you do something different. Long story short, capture, capture, fork. Okay, where you step back with the bishop, he takes the knight, you take the pawn, and he can launch this forward defended by this bishop, because now this bishop sees this square. None of this happened. We got to push the pawn because we don't want to run into those sacrificing ideas. We get some stuff developed, and we're going to turn this engine back on. Going for the dark square bishop is the best move, but it's equally as important as saving my light square bishop. Okay, so in my head, I said I want to save the light square bishop. I guess the computer is saying save the light square bishop like this, or immediately grasp the dark square bishop. But what if I play this and he plays something like this? I capture first, you capture first, then I capture, then you capture, but then he loses the right to castle at the very end of it. Okay, so that's why. That's why. I am ahead in the attack. Okay, he steps back. We simply capture here to put his rook on a strange square. His rook is really not supposed to be on this square. He could have taken with the knight and gone for something like this, or a pawn push here. Whatever. We developed the queen, and I was having ideas of castling opposite, but let's see just how inaccurate all of it was. If I did castle opposite, we jump forward, capture, capture. He launches the pawn. Now let's see how bad it is if I castle opposite. It's playable. It is playable. 0.6. Minus 0.6. It's playable. But this, I'm going to let you know right now, is really freaking scary to play against. None of these, this is not even close, and this is incredibly close. All of this is close. So just castling that way is just not really advisable. I probably would have lost if I did that. So we just trade everything off. Putting the queen here is actually the best move because it's just holding down the fort. It's holding down the fort. It's also applying pressure here. And yeah, you don't want your queen like sliding back like this because then he can get blocked out of the game quite easily. Okay. I was supposed to go for this immediately. What did I not like about this? I didn't like this. That's what I didn't like. And I push this, but can he not? Oh, he can't take. The queen is in the front. I'll take it with my rook. Okay. Okay. So I calculated the correct amount of attackers, but not the correct amount. Best move, putting the queen in the enemy's position. Look at this. My queen is like hiding amongst pawns. He's like hiding in the grass, and nobody can see him. We go ahead and capture. Best move. Freaking best move. Best move. Best move. Best move. Best move. Best freaking move. Best move. Best move. Come on, crank up the depth a little bit, bro. You know this is a good idea. You know this. Come on, rook c8. Come on. Okay, we're supposed to say this, but then he gets the open file. Oh, we would have grabbed the pawn immediately. The rook can't go for any open files. He needs to protect these pawns. Didn't see it. This is literally just as good. Okay, 0.2. I don't want to analyze for too long. Either way, we make a bunch of moves. We get active with the rook. We push a pawn, just locking it down over here. I feel like I've got more options here, but it is still just a draw. He pushes, I push. What is the best move? I always like to crank up this depth just a tad little bit. See that little green line trying to inch on down the board. It takes too long. Okay, we push a pawn. Everything's fine. I'm slightly winning, and this is just a straight up blunder. How are you going to defend these pawns? You're freaking not, because if you step here, you get hit with a fork immediately. So this just straight up wins the pawns. The whole purpose of this rook was boom, boom, boom. Like, I only have one rook. My king is really not getting into, like, attacking any of these three weaknesses. So his rook right here on d6 is perfect because it's just defending everything. And I can't make it move. Even though I have both open files, like, I'm never going to win any of the weaknesses because I need another piece to attack one of the weaknesses because you have one rook and I have one rook and you have one king and I have one king and your king is like more active than mine, I would argue. So we play the best move. Oh my freaking god, we take this with check. This is not hard to calculate. You step in, yes, but mine comes with check. You move and then I take your second pawn defending this and then this is just a resignable position. He could have tried to pressure me. I had 49 seconds, so he could have tried to pressure me, but resigning is completely respectable as well. Basically, what I'm going to do here, I was going to play this. Yes, you get the open file, but I'm freaking going to start pushing this pawn. You hit me with a check. I mean, I step up. You hit me with a check. I step up. And, like, yes, you can grab some pawns, but, dude, this guy is going to inch up. Say you get behind it. I step forward to defend. Like, yes, you can even grab this. But, dude, what are you doing about this pawn? Say you attack. I just block. You give me a check. I can step anywhere. And long story short, we just invest in the passed pawn. Who cares about any of these other pawns? This is all I care about at this point. Once you create a passed pawn in a position like this, you just start pushing it. Long story short, forget about everything else. Push your freaking passed pawn and you will win. Because you can lose 9 pawns, but if your pawn makes it across, you get a queen, and that's worth 9 points. So you can literally lose 9 pawns, as long as you're not losing pawns in a way that lets him promote as well. So, like, one way to calculate this, I'll show you very, very quick. Right now, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pawns. I can lose all of those pawns, but if this one makes it, we're up material. So all you have to do is make sure that you can't sacrifice the rook for it at some point. But then it's still even. So just once you have a passed pawn, invest in it. That is all you need to know. Like, you've got a passed pawn. He does not. What is he going to want to try to do is create a passed pawn, but you already have one. So you can make the entire game about stopping this pawn. So, like, just push the passed pawn. Like, 9 times out of 10, just push the passed pawn. Forget everything else. Even if it's like your knight and bishop over here and your passed pawn is here, just push it, dude. He takes the knight. Okay, you push the pawn. He takes the bishop. You push the pawn. Just make sure he can't sacrifice for the pawn at the very end of the day. So thank you so much for watching my video. If you learned anything or simply enjoyed hanging out with me, or you like how I play chess, or you want to play chess like me, leave a comment. I probably missed some stuff. I did my best. You know, I'm newish to this YouTube thing, so please subscribe. This is my subscribers right here. I'm going to start trying to post more videos. I love each and every one of you. I'm going to go to the gym. Thank you so much. Get out of here. Bye, and bye-bye. Forward. I can take. I don't see what he does here. What do you do there? You support this, then I play this, then you attack my queen. With 1 minute on the clock, I'm playing this move. I'm not sure if it was correct. Big scared. This is just a pretty simple idea. So if he does anything other than attack my queen, that fork will work. Then we go here, defending this check, defending this. We might have to play this. That knight is absolutely terrifying. Okay, we play this. This is a threat still. He got a pawn. You love to see it. Now we've both got 50 seconds, and I have completely fudged up. Completely, I have fudged up. I don't know what to do. Let's get into a game of bullet, my friend. There are still so many pieces on the board. It's really just about don't blunder a piece first. These guys defend each other. That's important. That adds pressure to this. What about that? Oh, we got to do something about this knight. Let's just do this. Okay, he attacks me. We're stepping up. That attacks the knight. Knight can go back. We apply more pressure with this frickin' guy. Once this moves and the knight moves, then this attack only works if the knight is also applying pressure. I'm just going to level with you guys. I'm completely terrified right now. We jump forward. He plays this. Check. Take. This. It's not a check. This is hanging. Oh, god damn it. Someone's going to blunder, if I'm just going to be completely honest here. Any knight move. I'm stepping all the way back. I got completely shook right there. He takes. You can't take with the queen or this. Check, checkmate. Oh, you fudged up. That's crazy. We double the rooks. Lot of ideas on this. Let's step all the way back so this guy's defended more. He comes in. I think we just play this. It's defended. We grab a rook. We win the queen. We defend the rook. 18 seconds against 15. I can literally just trade stuff. He could resign right here, but he might as well play on because we have such little time. But resigning also makes a fair bit of sense. What did I say at the very beginning of this video? Nothing in the opening or middle game matters. Everything that mattered right there in the end of the game, like, was the end of the game. That's all that mattered. And I was losing, but because I play bullet and I practice my end games to some extent, let's take a look. Right here. This is when the importantness started. This is when the importantness started. And now that I'm looking at this, I like this move. Do I play this? Then what am I doing? Coming back? Okay. We are going to check this with the computer real quick. Our opponent said, well played. I'm not sure if it was. He was completely winning here. Just tactics here, dude. Oh, how tragic. Because we take, and the queen can no longer take. We're going to take this. All right, we're going to plug this into the computer, and we're going to see how accurate actually was that. I'm going to let it load so it doesn't make the camera lag. And here we are in the analysis, and we're going to set a 5-minute timer so that I don't go overboard with analyzing stuff that's not important. We're going to fly through this rapidly, and then we're going to see how accurate did I play, how many blunders did I make. I'm going to just make a guess now and say I played like 83%, and my opponent played 80%, because for sure I was losing, but then he messed up bad in the end game. So we start this thing out, boom, 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 and this is the Caro-Kann. Pushing this pawn right here, a little F3 action is the fantasy variation, where if they capture, you capture. He pushes a pawn, you develop the knight to defend the pawn. He pins the knight, so then you have to push a pawn to defend the pawn in the center. He develops a knight, you develop your bishop to either one of these squares. I guess this one is slightly better, but what